Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Fan Frenzy podcast. Stop staring like that. Um, Unfortunately, this episode we have to do online. We ran into some inconveniences, so looks like we're back here. But guess what? Next episode we'll be back in the studio again. We'll be cooking it up. We got some more clips that we're gonna be posting. Getting us into it since it's kind of a late night episode. Your new segment per usual. Funny name I want to hate you guys with. I don't know if anybody saw this or recalls who this man is. I unfortunately do. Aaron Baines retired today from the
Oh
NBA.
yeah, of course I know who that is. He's
What
not
do
that
you mean,
old,
of
is he?
course you know
The-
who that
The
is.
Suns legend, right? And
Raptors.
The Aussie.
yeah, yeah.
Uh,
Shout out Aaron.
Oh, he's
Baines.
37. He is old.
Dang, I thought
Mhm.
he was like 31.
No, he's
Yeah,
old.
I did not think he was that old.
Wow.
Some other news. Obviously, while we were on break, there was the two big NFL trades being Amari Cooper to the Bills and Devontae Adams to the Jets. Definitely go peep out the article that I wrote on Devontae Adams' top 5 landing spots before he was traded. The Jets were on there.
Wait,
Um,
who sent that? Who sent that video of the Pat McAfee show where
That
it's
was-
Aaron
that was funny.
Rodgers?
That was so funny.
He did.
That was so
That was
funny.
so
And they're like,
funny.
so did you hear? And then it just pans over to Devontae's in the background.
It's
And he's
it's
holding
quite
a
funny.
football, and he's just like holding this, and he's just like,
It's quite funny.
Yeah. That's
Um,
exactly what I expected it to look like, honestly.
yeah, he was already there.
Yeah,
Other
he knew
news.
where he's going.
that I have is there's been some rumors going on, guys. I just want to hear a quick team from everybody. Is Max Crosby on the move, and if he is, where?
Ooh, that's
People
I
have been
heard
saying
rumors.
Detroit. I've been hearing a lot of
Ooh.
That's what I
Detroit.
love
heard.
that.
Is I don't know if somebody sent it in our Instagram group chat, but I did see a video where it was Pat McAfee also who was on. I forget who he was talking to. It was some NFL.
No, he was talking to
Schefter?
Rappaport. I think it was Rappaport. It was either
Oh, it was?
no. You know what?
I
It was
don't know.
Schefter.
I forget who it
It was
was.
Schefter. I'm wrong.
It was
It was
Schefter,
Schefter.
yeah. So he was talking to Schefter, and what did he say? He's like, so I heard Max Crosby, right? Like, and he like kind of denied. He's like, Detroit, right? Detroit's calling about him, and he's like, and he like refused to answer. So it looked like there might be something in talks.
Give
going on.
me a pick from each person. Where is he going?
I trust what Schefter has to say. I'm going Detroit. I think he's on the move to Detroit, especially with Hutchinson injured now.
That
I-
was also a part of my new segment, so
Yeah.
I'm glad you covered that.
I think he stays put. I don't think they're going to trade.
Hey,
I
Jake.
see why you would trade him. He's under
Honestly,
contract. Not that
this
old.
might be crazy, and if it happens, they might make it to the Super Bowl.
Giants.
They traded for Chase Young last year. I think the Niners trade for Max Crosby this year.
Oh God.
They love to trade
They
for
did
defensive
last year.
players. They love to trade for defensive players.
Interesting.
They
You know who
traded for Chase
doesn't?
Young.
You know who doesn't trade often? That I could see making a move like this if they figure out what to give,
Or the Vikings. The Vikings might do it too.
or the guys who might just try and three-peat the Chiefs.
Oh, that would be sick. The
That-
Commanders
that'd
might
be
be a good
dangerous.
spot too, because Jonathan Allen went out for the year. So
A lot of
Yeah,
good
it's quite questionable. Moving on from that, I got two things left, and then we'll move into our segments. Might as well touch on the more heartwarming one than the other one. So, Abdul Carter. I hope everybody in here knows who that is. Jake, why are you looking like that? You do know who that is, right?
yeah.
Okay, perfect. He posted on his Instagram story the other day a picture of the Eagles playing, and wrote the caption "soon" with eye emojis. Looks like that might be the next franchise edge rusher for the Eagles.
Yeah, everybody wants
I
to
know
go to
Ben would be
Philadelphia,
pretty
though.
excited. I know I would.
Very
Let
excited.
me guess.
I hope we're not drafting high enough to be able to
Hey,
select him, and we have to trade.
Chris,
him.
let me guess. They're getting Alshon Jeffrey too.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
don't know.
They're
We'll have
getting,
to. We'll
they're
have
getting
to wait and
Jackson
find
Dart, I
out
heard
on
too. They're
that
getting
one.
Jackson
Are
Dart.
they getting
We'll
Jalen
we'll
Milrow
Mc-
too?
We'll get
Ewers, I heard
McMillan
them.
too. We don't want no Jalen
To the
Milrow
bubble.
here, but we'll take
I
McMillan.
we get Travis Hunter, Drew Aller.
You know what? I heard that they're actually
Sanders.
they're getting Arch Manning too. I feel like he's gonna enter the draft early, even though he's like
Oh my
redshirted.
goodness.
I don't know.
Yo, I heard they're
Um,
bringing Jason Kelsey back. Is that true?
Yeah, me too. They're gonna put him at a
he
skill
misses
position, too.
watching them play. He misses watching them play, especially with Saquon on the team now. I actually forgot about one or two other things, so I'm just gonna throw. Or you know what? I'll save one of them. The other thing I'll throw in now, though, congrats to BG for hitting 200 games as an Eagle, most all time as an Eagle, which is kind of crazy to think about.
Wow.
And the last bit of news actually just happened, like very recent. You guys know I was at the game tonight. It's not looking too hot for Jared McCain, guys, if you saw what happened.
No,
He
what
got
happened?
hard fouled by a guy named Tyrese Martin, and Tyrese Martin is now on my hate list for exactly what he did, because he did a Grayson Allen Alex Caruso here, guys. It's
Yeah.
bad. He basically threw him to the ground when he was high up in the air, and McCain was having trouble breathing and is in the hospital right now.
Oh, damn.
Jeez.
I didn't even see that. That's crazy.
No, I didn't hear about that either.
Yeah, so Gabe, first off, I hate your basketball team. Second of all, this is not remotely okay. Third of all, why are guys from PA attacking guys who play for the Philadelphia team? This dude's literally from Allentown. This is
They're
not
jealous,
okay.
bro. They're jealous.
This is why he went to UConn and is a complete bust, though. Yeah, go back to the G League, buddy. You're pretty bad.
I'll be honest with you, Chris. I'm probably gonna watch maybe like 7 Brooklyn Nets games this year. Like we're just not gonna be. This is why I hate the NBA, because there's just so much tanking going on,
Gabe,
even with the lottery.
The Knicks would need more fans, bro.
man.
You should
We
start rooting
could
for the other
get
side.
Cooper Flag on our team right now, and I still would think that we're not going anywhere.
All right.
It's not a fun. They're a fun team. I think that they're a fun team to watch. They just won't win games, obviously. Like I like Tariq White, but I think he's gonna be solid. I think that Jalen Bolson is very good, but like what else?
Last thing I'll say before we move into the segments is I side with Dante DiVincenzo.
Really? Wait, hold on, Chris.
Why?
First off,
Why?
that's ridiculous. But second off, I do have a piece of news after Jake
What's ridiculous?
corrects Chris. My news.
The Knicks did him dirty.
No, they didn't.
Yes,
It
they
was
did.
talking trash, and he started
He
talking
wanted
trash.
to trade, and you got to trade.
Yeah, he got what he wanted, but there's no reason to talk trash.
He
to
wanted to
both the
stay. You just
assistant
wouldn't
coach
give him.
and
He
the
wanted to
bench.
stay. You wouldn't give him the minutes.
We gave him the minutes. He was the sixth man.
He doesn't
What do
want to
you
come
want
off
more
the
from
bench. He
him?
wants to start.
That's what he is. He sucks when he doesn't come off the bench. He can't score against a good defender. DiVincenzo's not going to do anything this year. He's probably going to come off the bench. Where does he play in Minnesota? They have Mike Conley and they have Jaden McDaniel. What are they going to do? What is he going to do?
He probably
And that's-
listens.
He'll play power forward.
Yeah. Over Randall,
Wait,
yeah,
Randall?
sure.
What's your news, Gabe? Before we move into the segment.
This one's gonna excite Chris a little bit. I know you heard about this over the past few days. UFC 310. It was announced the main event. I know he has a hatred for wrestlers and anybody that wrestles in the UFC, so he's gonna love this. Bilal Muhammad defends his belt against Shavkat
He's gonna get
Rakhmonov.
destroyed.
He's gonna
He's
get
gonna get
wrecked.
destroyed.
Bro, he's gonna get wrecked. So, for context, it is nearly
Uh.
impossible to like go undefeated in martial arts in MMA. It
Agree.
is much easier to do that in boxing when you can schedule your own fights. You have your own promoters. In the UFC, Dana White schedules your fight. You don't have much of a say unless you're John Jones, like the best of the best. So John Jones is like sort of undefeated, but like also not really. Khabib Nurmagomedov, he's undefeated, but like there's really only a few. Shavkat Rakhmonov is like 27, 28 years old, which is still pretty young for MMA. He's 18-0 with 18 finishes. Every single one of his fights has been a finish. He's an elite grappler. He's an elite striker, and he's gonna just rock Bilal Muhammad. I'm so excited for it.
That'll definitely happen. We'll touch base on that again after it
Yeah, after it
concludes.
happens.
After Bilal's funeral concludes.
Yes.
That aside, moving into our first segment, obviously we've been doing it since our episodes have been going on. At least like probably the last 5 or 6 episodes we've been doing it as our first segment. The players of the week. Players of the week. Who would like to go? I feel like I've been starting the last few episodes, so I can't start at all. Let's hear about Dante DiVincenzo with Jake.
He is not going to be my player of the week.
Wait, by the way, before Jake says his thing, all I want to say is this dude decided to hide from all the viewers on his private Instagram story him crying about Saquon today. That's all I'm going to say. I have proof.
Yo, Chris,
I have
look at my news
proof
story
of it,
right now.
too.
Look at my news story right now. Look at my news story right now. Look what he said. Okay.
I seen that already.
I'm not okay. I have 2 in my head right now. I want you guys to choose who my player of the week is. Should I attack the Phillies or the Eagles? Which one?
Oof.
Why
are
attack
solid
either?
options.
Why
Both are
attack
solid
You have to
either?
pick. You'll have
Might
to
as well
pick.
beat a dead horse. Pick the Phillies, bro.
Pick the
Just beat dead
Phillies. Chris, who are you picking?
Why pick either?
Okay, Gabe, who are you picking? Best two of the three.
Just do the Phillies. Make it
Phillies?
easy.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Chris is gonna hate me, but he's gonna hate me regardless who I pick because I'm attacking both teams if I could. My player of the week is on Chris's hate list. Mark Vientos. You are my player of the week. You destroyed
Tracks him.
Philadelphia. You destroyed them. Oh my goodness. What a series by, first of all, the Mets.
I'm so glad that you picked him. I'm
And
like
se-
ecstatic right now.
Why?
I'm
Jake,
ecstatic right now.
Chris, I think I gotta go next. I think I gotta go
Beat
next.
the dead horse. Beat
I
up on
will.
Alec Bohm.
I will. Mark Vientos, oh my God, dude. The only bad thing you did all series was that one error, but that didn't even bite you in the butt because you guys still won. You hit
Yeah, we won in
amazing home
4.
runs. Yeah, I mean, he's absolutely amazing. I mean, he's going to be hopefully the future star of the Mets playing third base in the future. Honestly,
Jake had
Gabe,
trouble
tell me,
saying that one. He did not like saying that.
Gabe, this is going to be the Mets' future starting lineup. I think it's going to be Vientos at third, Lindor at short, Acuna at second, and then Alonso at first. What do you think?
I think that's very possible, especially with Alonso saving us over the past few weeks.
Yeah,
But
and if you guys don't give him a contract, I think that's highway robbery because I think he deserves
if he
it.
does go though, I think there has been some talk about Vientos potentially playing first as well. I just don't know what that would mean for third.
If Pete Alonso
Jake.
walks, the Yankees are a big
Jake,
team to go to. What's up, Chris?
you want to know why I'm so glad that you brought it up? Like, I'm ecstatic right now.
Is it
why
because you
brought it
hate
up.
Alec Boehm and Trey Turner now?
No, I love Trey Turner. I'll always love Trey Turner. But my thing to you is, at this current moment in time, he is 1 for 4 with 2 Ks,
Oh,
and the Dodgers are about to be up 9-0.
It's. I mean,
Not a great game. What are you gonna do?
Here's a tied 1-1. So what are you gonna do?
Can I just say, Alec Boehm,
Oh my
Alec Boehm,
God!
you are a Seattle Mariner. That's my prediction.
Really?
Telling you,
All right,
yeah.
Chris, I think I gotta take the next one.
Go for it. Oh wait,
Because
hold
I
on. While
haven't-
you do that, I'm gonna grab something.
Okay.
There we
Oh,
go.
interesting.
I can hear
Alright,
you though,
take
so
your-
go for it.
Take your oil money jersey and go grab something. All right. I didn't even plan, Jake going first. My player of the week, I kind of want to see Chris's reaction to this. It's Francisco Lindor. It had to be. It had to be, right? Like,
Yeah.
not even just the past week alone, but just the past couple weeks. He's had so many moments where it's like, I'm literally just going to remember where I was when Francisco Lindor hit the home run to put us ahead against the Braves, when he hit the grand slam, obviously, against the Phillies. And then there was another one recently, I'm forgetting. There's too many moments that Francisco Lindor has just been nothing but clutch. He's been phenomenal.
so
He's a leader of
glad-
this team.
It's a
And
smile.
he's the MVP. I gotta say it. He's the MVP. How
I'm
can you
so
not be?
glad that
Football
we
in the
keep
playoffs,
talking about the Mets because, like, I'll always have this. He may not play anymore, but guess
Might
what
not be
team he
alive,
played for?
The
Guess
Brooklyn
what team he
Dodgers.
played for?
The Brooklyn Dodgers.
Also known as the LA Dodgers. The Dodgers, the team that's destroying the Mets right now. I mean, literally destroying the Mets. You know
That's
what?
okay.
I'd rather get beat up by Mark Vientos and Lindor than get beat up by Kike Hernandez.
I wouldn't.
crazy.
I wouldn't.
Why is Kike so good in the playoffs?
Yo,
I
by
don't
the
know.
way,
I don't know.
by the
Kike
way,
Hernandez.
I'm gonna throw this out
Ohtani
there.
was looking okay,
Over
but
this dude's postseason, he has 15 home runs.
It doesn't make any sense.
I think
Really
the
doesn't.
entire team is just looking really good, honestly. Like the
They're
Dodgers
scary.
are so
And
scared.
here's
right
the
now.
thing that I hate the most. I was talking about this with someone. If the Dodgers were to make it to the World Series, even regardless if it's the Yankees or the Guardians, Shohei Ohtani is going to be able to pitch, and he won't start. He's going to close out the games, and that's even scarier to me. Because
That is scary.
here's the thing about Ohtani. It sucks that he missed a year of baseball, but that means everybody in the MLB missed a year of Shohei Ohtani, which means nobody's expecting anything from him. Nobody's used to hitting against him. So if he comes out of the bullpen, he's not going to give up a single run this postseason.
Jake.
He closed in the World Baseball
Jake.
Classic, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'm
Yeah.
gonna tell you something right here, right now, Jake. If the Dodgers win the World Series this year, right? If they win the World Series this
Is he
year,
gone?
you can record this. You can take it, send it to me as much as you want. I will buy a Shohei Ohtani Dodgers jersey.
Nah, that's boring. I think you should have to buy an Aaron Judge jersey.
I think you should
Like
have
the
to get a
Yankees
Kike
win.
Hernandez jersey.
I'm gonna get his Aaron Judge jersey.
He get Hernandez
Honestly-
is a good one.
Get like an
Honestly,
interesting
I might
Dodgers
get-
player.
I might get
Listen,
a
you have
Tony
three
jersey regardless.
options here.
Get a Dave Roberts jersey.
You have, or technically you have two options here. You can either pick Betts or Shohei. Take your pick. Because I
What?
would say Teoscar, but
It's your
Teoscar
choice.
keeps moving from team to team
Yeah.
to team.
It's your choice. Honestly, I think I would rather have a Kershaw jersey just because he's been on the team the longest.
Well, he's only ever played for them. I always like Kershaw, but
Exactly.
I
But
forgot he even
honestly,
existed,
I'm
not
gonna
lie.
get an Ohtani jersey eventually. So it's like
Kershaw
I
also
love
said he's
Ohtani.
coming back again this year, by
Word.
the way, before I forget. Ben,
I need
or
Cleveland.
Gabe, are you done with your player of the week?
I'm done with my player of the week.
All
I
right,
do not need to
bet.
talk more about the Mets' current situation. So
It's time to switch up the mood. You know, we got some haters that. Well, I guess Gabe wasn't really hating, but it kind
I
of
really
like
wasn't hating that much. I was just prideful in my team. That's all.
Jake is a D1 hater for any team, for that matter. So what's the difference?
we're gonna bring up the mood. We're gonna stay with a team that wears orange, and that's my Philadelphia Flyers. That's right.
Guys,
They're
I'm
back
going to
in
throw
action.
something out there. Me and Ben were literally texting about this earlier, and I told him to do this.
They're back in action, off to a solid start. I would say. I mean, they started in like the
One, and one.
Yeah, 1-1-1 on a crazy road trip. Got a point last night in Edmonton. But you know who else got some points last night in Edmonton? Matvey Michkov. 2 goals. And wow, I mean the
All
first
I'm going to say is his second goal was disgusting.
yeah, I was gonna, the
You know,
first goal was kind of
Unbelievable.
not
It's
the-
funny. It's funny, Ben. Not to cut you off, but you look at that division. 1-1-1, not as a bad start. But who's at the top of that division there?
Dude, it's 3.
I think you know who it is.
I don't
The
Say it.
Devils,
Say it.
the Devils,
New-
who
New
also
Jersey
played,
Devils.
who also played another 3 games compared to us.
4 wins.
3 extra games.
Win's a win.
Win is a win, as Jake said.
But
Like
yeah,
I said, 3 extra games, and we went toe to toe practically with the team that was just in the Stanley Cup. So
yeah,
like, it's a big deal.
So I do want to talk about like
And we beat up on Vancouver.
first impressions of Matvey Michkov for me are he's not as bad defensively as I would have thought he would have been.
I
Although-
agree.
Although, you know, the Flyers haven't been scoring a lot of goals. I think Erson has been really solid in the net. I think
Yeah.
Fedotov looks way out of his depth. But I mean, that's to be expected.
I'm not a big Fedotov guy.
Yeah. In general, though, like I think definitely this team's power play is going to be much improved. I mean, you can just see how ready that Michkov is really important, and having Konechny lead the attack on the power plays, I think, is a really good strategy. But yeah, shout out to Tyson Forster for having 17 penalty minutes already. That's kind of crazy. But he's yeah. Shout out to the Flyers. They should be a fun team to watch this year. A very young
I
team.
agree. My player of the week, Jake actually said his name earlier. Do you recall who I'm referring to, Jake? Or are
me try to-
you lost in the sauce right now?
Let me go to the memory bank real quick. Yeah, it was said this episode, you say?
Yes.
I want to say it was.
Jared McCain.
No, I didn't say Jared McCain's name. I mean, I said Ohtani.
Jake said it? Okay.
I said Ohtani, so I'm gonna guess him.
It is not Ohtani.
What sport?
This week I decided Ben knows who it is too, because we spoke about it and I said, yeah, I want to do Michkov, but I really want to do this other guy. So can you do Michkov? And he was like, yeah, why not?
It's not DiVincenzo.
So the guy that I have chosen for this week is none other than Ashton GT. Dude, we are talking about an absolute legend. This dude is putting up Barry Sanders numbers like it's nothing. Listen, I don't care anymore with the stupid thing of, oh, look at the competition. Bro, Jalen Milroe lost to Vanderbilt. I don't want to hear it
Boise
anymore
State
with
is not in the
the
bad-
competition. It's
Dude,
not.
They lost
They're
It's
by
Mountain
not.
West, right? They're Mountain West.
Yeah,
lost
they
single
played
team.
against
It's not bad
Oregon,
at all.
bro. They
put
lost
up-
to Oregon by 3.
Exactly.
Like,
They lost Oregon by 3. Like I don't get people that are saying
what
that.
do we mean no competition? Oregon's a
Are
great
they ranked
school.
yet? Is Boise,
Boise?
ranked yet?
Yeah, they are.
Yes.
Okay, good for them. Because
Yes.
if Navy and Army get to be ranked, then Boise 100% should be ranked.
Both those
1000%.
military schools
And
minus Air
listen-
Force look scary though.
Yeah.
I'm not
Listen,
gonna lie.
I've said the
They do
same
look scary.
thing. I said the same thing last year in terms of when Puka Nacua was going crazy and people were like, "Oh, he's a rookie," blah blah blah. When you see greatness, why do you just like stare at in the face and just try and throw something at
Because
it? Like,
people
oh,
like
he
to
goes
hate.
to a bad school.
It's
Yeah,
because
but
people
see,
love
part
to
of
hate.
my thing is too why I like him so much is the statement that he came out with, which I wrote an article on it on the website. Look at it. Is him stating that I could care less about the money and that a legacy lasts longer than anything.
Good. Wow.
I mean, like the dude.
Tell that to Hassan Reddick.
You might need to hear that actually.
That's
you know?
not funny. That's not funny. Like I said,
That's
the
a good-
dude though, he's a great player. Like we're witnessing an unbelievable season from this guy. I mean, through 6 games, Mark Ingram and Derrick Henry, both the past 2 running back Heisman winners, ended with like 600 something, and he's already at like 1,000, what, like 300.
You know what the funny
Almost.
thing is? You're talking through 6 games, Chris. He's probably played what, like 9 or 10 halves.
Yeah.
Yeah,
He
he hasn't
hasn't
played full
played
games. They take him
The
out.
full 6 games.
That's what I mean.
Subbed
They
out
take
at
him out.
halftime a lot of the time.
Yeah. Chris, I got a question for you about James.
Go for it.
Does he become a first-round pick? And if so, does he become a top 10 pick?
Ooh.
It's a tough one. Does it translate to the NFL?
Ooh.
Because the thing
I
is,
think
like, Bijan,
100% I'm going to say that he's a first
the
round
last,
pick.
the last, I'm gonna do this in quotes because I'm not sure if Bijan was a generational talent, which I think he is. But
I
the
think
last
he is.
last generational running back talent to come out of college was Bijan, and he was the 5th overall pick. So if JT is the best college running back since either Derrick Henry or Barry Sanders, shouldn't he be drafted above Bijan this year?
Yes and no. I'm going to say yes because of talent-wise and what you've seen, but no because it really depends on what teams are drafting when.
Like, okay, if the Patriots
the
have the
Patriots,
number
I
one
think, are
overall
going to
pick.
take Travis Hunter or like a McMillan.
Okay, if they drop to the number 4 overall pick, because I don't think any of those players are there, number 4 overall, do you then take GT to pair up with May?
No, I think it would. I think it would really have
No,
to.
because they have Ramondre.
I think it would have to. Be a
I don't think
team
Ramondre matters.
either that had an
I
injury
think he's good.
or
I think Ramondre is good, but I don't think we can just up
Yeah,
and
but
replace
think about the
him.
Lions. What about the Lions, though? They
Yeah, I was gonna
signed
say the
David
Lions have a
Montgomery,
two-back
and then they
system that
drafted
works well.
Jahmyr Gibbs,
I
number
just-
7 overall. Go ahead, Ben.
I think the Patriots have much bigger needs. I think it would have to be a team. Say, Joe Burrow gets hurt this
Oh,
week.
the Bengals would love.
Because
love Cincy.
well, it's looking like from what we've seen for this season, it's looking like Cleveland's gonna have a top pick, and I don't think they go after running back unless Chubb's not really panning out.
me-
But
Hold on, let me look at NFL standings and see what teams have a chance to draft him because
because I
he's gonna help whatever team he goes for. It just depends.
I think if Denver
Who?
falls off, Denver could try and go.
Denver's a great spot.
That is a good point. Yeah.
I
Um,
think
Denver, maybe. It looks like it's gonna be a team in the AFC. The Jets, no. The Dolphins, no.
honestly,
The Raiders,
Carolina,
the
I was
Raiders,
gonna say the Raiders have
Carolina
a
the
shot.
Raiders
could.
need a QB. The Chargers.
I low-key feel like the Raiders could do that only because they're the Raiders and they do really dumb things.
I got my pick. I got my pick. It's gonna be the Titans. The Titans are gonna draft them because they
The
are
Titans are a
a
good
run.
one.
They're
They just-
normally with Henry.
Pollard, though.
I don't care about Tony Pollard. I actually think he's a terrible running back. I think because the Titans recently were a run-heavy team, this year they went all in on the pass by signing 30-year-old wide receivers for some
Listen,
reason.
I'll put it to you this way.
They'll go back to the run. They'll go back to the run.
I'll give you 3 teams that I think could all have high picks and that he can go to one of these 3. I'm gonna say either the Titans, the Bengals, or the Cardinals. One of the
I
3.
agree. I agree.
I think the Cardinals are a
I
perfect
think
fit.
the best
Yeah.
fit for him is the Bengals because the Bengals without Joe Mixon honestly look like a different team, and I think they need a running
Mhm.
back. I think Genty would make that.
You don't
I
like
think,
him on the Cardinals though? I love him on the Cardinals.
I think
honestly.
I like him at the Cardinals, but honestly, the way that the season's going, I think the Bengals will draft a running back over
fair.
the Cardinals drafting a running
Fair.
back because the Cardinals their defense is terrible. I think they go defense. Bengals get Genty and they make it to the Super Bowl or become a Super Bowl contender.
Maybe the
I-
Cardinals take their first lockdown corner in quite some time in Malachi Stark.
I think
He-
he'll be a first-round pick, but I don't think he'll be a top 10 pick. I just don't think
That's crazy.
I-
That's crazy,
it's not
man.
it's not a talent thing. I think like he's a top 3 talent in the draft. I just feel like it's very situational drafting running backs. Like look at the
Okay,
Giants.
do you consider Cam Ward a top 3 talent in this draft?
Huh?
Do you consider Cam Ward a top 3 talent in this
No.
draft?
No.
What?
He's gonna be a
Really?
New York Giant, that's for sure.
Really? If Cam Ward goes to the
Jake,
New
who do you
York
want?
Giants, it's
like
gonna
Drew
suck
Aller better
because
for-
then there's gonna be 2 quarterbacks in the NFC East that
I
I
like-
like that aren't on my team.
Hey,
I like
speaking of
Quinn
Drew Aller,
Ewers.
How about
I
that?
like Quinn Ewers too.
That Penn State comeback against USC had.
How about
me-
you just take Drew Aller? I hate Drew Aller. Take Drew Aller, Gabe.
I don't think
No,
Drew
I
Aller's a
want
first round
Big
pick.
Ten quarterback.
I don't,
Yeah,
I don't think
he's
Drew Aller's a
First
first
round
pick.
pick or not,
If
just take
Aller
him
comes
anyways.
out,
Just give him
second
your
team.
new starter.
He's got NFL.
Does he even? Yeah, but does he even declare for the draft this year? I mean, I think he waits till
No.
next year.
Will. Yeah, especially if Penn State makes it pretty far in the college football playoff.
Here, Ben, think about it this way though. It's the same situation with like Quinn Ewers, who didn't declare last year. Last year there was a consensus number 1 that was Caleb Williams with 5 other QBs that got drafted in the first round.
This year's a
I
weak
think-
class, though. That's the
But
thing.
yeah, it is a weak class, but I think Cam Ward's over him, Jalen Milroe, Quinn Ewers. I
Does
think Drew
Jackson
Aller
Dart declare
waits.
this year?
I don't think Quinn Ewers is going to be a first round pick.
What
I
about
think he
Dylan
will.
Gabriel?
And honestly, I want the Giants to
I
beat
don't
him
either.
potentially, Gabe. But if Drew Aller has a chance to be a second round pick this year, I think he waits for next year because Quinn Ewers could have declared and he wouldn't have been a first round pick. Drew
I want
Aller
to see
has
the
a chance
Manning
to be a
legacy. That's
second.
what I want.
I'm
Me
just
too.
telling you. I'm just telling you. Shador Sanders is going to be an Oakland Raider, Las Vegas Raider.
All right.
I agree. I agree.
Path to
I see
heaven,
that.
Moving
media-
on.
the media city. Perfect.
Moving on from there. We can do our quick fantasy recap. I lost this week to Ben.
I lost this week to
Hey.
Gabe.
Not much to say. Yeah.
Jake?
I'm starting
Oh,
to,
Jake, you already said it. Yeah.
you know,
Shoot out. It
I'm
was
starting
good
to
game.
look a
Good game, by the
little
way.
I'm starting to look a little off in that league, but like at the same time, I like my depth on my bench.
wish-
I like Amari Cooper on the Bills now. Now that I picked him up off waivers. Like, oh, Jake, did you see what else I did on waivers today?
Yeah, you dropped Pat Fryermuth, and you brought back Keenan Allen. Bro,
For
I
some
tried to
reason,
trade
you're
for
still
him.
a free agent, so I picked him
I
up. and-
brought him back. Well, I dropped Freiermuth because I don't need a tight end anymore because Travis is off his bye.
Yeah, I guess it's fair.
So yeah, I got 4 wide receivers on my bench. Do I got more? No, I got 4. I got Pickens,
I high-key
Cooper, Keenan
good.
Allen, and Jordan Addison.
I high-key need like a stud wide receiver because I don't. My
Hey,
running
guys.
Send me something.
Yeah,
my
here's the
running backs
thing
are
though.
crazy.
What I hate about this league right now is that there's not that many trades, which is fine. We want to like keep it realistic. But the thing is, I heard I was at Temple Update today, and I heard a little birdie, aka by the name of Sean Gravely, who is looking to trade some players. So if you guys want to try to get a couple trades,
I
I
thought
would
you were
send it
gonna-
to Sean.
I thought you were gonna hear about me trying to trade with Preston.
Oh, Preston, I'm not okay, Chris. This is not a knock on you, but you do this, and same thing with Preston. You and Preston always feel like you have to win the trade, which I just don't like because I feel like
Oh, I'm
both
the
teams
same
should win the
way.
trade.
I'm the same
Yeah,
way.
exactly.
Ben is very
Both teams
similar.
could have won a
So-
trade when I wanted to trade with you,
Pretty
1
similar.
for
I feel
1.
like everybody wants to win the trade, but like
No, Jake, when I wanted to do 1 for 1, you told me no, and then had like 8 other people tell me no as well.
What was the 1 for me? I forget.
Keenan Allen for Monty.
No.
Jake, I
Monty
didn't even
is like
realize we're
less.
tied for first place.
Whoa, you've been
Keenan
doing
Allen
great.
had
We're both 4-2.
20 points just
Wow.
now.
I
Ben,
gotta
send
say,
me something for a receiver, Ben.
I
I
do
got
gotta
Amari
say-
Us two and
Cooper.
Sean.
I'm not gonna lie, guys. I think my team is the best right now. I really do. I'm very confident with how my
scoreboard,
I got-
scoreboard.
team is. I'm 1 game back.
Well, like everyone in the league is except for Patty, who's 0-6.
The thing is, like, I would
He is.
want AJ Brown or Stephon Diggs, and I just don't think you're gonna trade either of them.
That's one of. I don't think Stephon Diggs should be your untouchable, but he is. Anyway,
You
my
don't want
team,
Amari Cooper?
my team started
now.
out 4-0,
Okay.
and I've lost 2 in a row. I'm not afraid.
Ben, I could
I'm
give you
just
George Pickens back.
concerned.
Okay.
That's crazy.
Should have
but
never
yeah.
dropped him.
Also, I don't know if you guys realized, Patty's been doing a strat all season so
He's
far.
0-6.
He also doesn't have a defense. I'm just confused why he doesn't.
He's also
Um,
starting Kareem Hunt.
Yeah, which I'm actually gonna
There's
try
a
to
lot of
trade him.
questionable
I'm trying to
decisions.
trade him Nick Chubb right now. So if you guys want Nick Chubb,
We should have had like a punishment or something, because I feel like Patty is giving up here a little bit.
What makes it
potentially,
Alright,
so we'll see.
Ben?
Anybody else got anything to say about fantasy before we move on?
My other
Um,
I'm solid.
I'm winning.
so fucked. It's horrible. My other league, I have the worst team I've ever had in my entire life.
Yeah,
Chris,
it just worked
Chris,
so
you'll
poorly
appreciate-
out for you. It's not even your fault.
Dude, my
half
record in my other league doesn't make any sense for the team that I have.
Chris,
After
gotta
I
say-
did the
of it.
trade
You know
that
what Chris,
Jake told
mine
me to
does?
do.
I'm 6-0. I'll just put that out there.
Whoa.
I
Hey.
changed the team name to the St. Louis Blues. I hope you appreciate that and get that reference because
Hey,
we're gonna.
but what team who has Debo, AJ, Amon-Ra, Chubb, Bart, Saquon, ETN is 2-4?
I heard
Yeah, you're just getting
5
unlucky.
too many Eagles players there.
Yeah, honestly. But here's the
I
thing.
named 2.
I just traded for Justin Fields before he got benched, and I traded CD.
Oh, for Justin Fields. Why would they ever
he
in the
did.
same trade?
He traded CD for a bag of rocks.
Ranked quarterback, dude. I needed a quarterback. I had Dak
Yeah, but he
Prescott.
just got benched.
I
I gotta say
traded
my
before he got benched. I didn't think the Steelers
my-
were stupid.
in my other league, I started out 0-2. I am now 4-2. I'm on a 4-game win streak, and I'm not stopping because I
All right.
literally have the best team in the league. So
Nice.
All right.
Moving on to our next segment. Guess what, Jake? I know you were kind of wondering like what the game plan was going to be for this episode. And you guys are going to have some fun with this one, Jake and Gabe. Guess what season is back? Hockey season. I combined a hockey and an MLB segment together. Don't do that. So obviously we're back. Hockey's been amazing for me to watch as of recency. Obviously, last night before the Flyers game even came on, were you watching the game before the Flyers game, Ben?
No.
It
Which
was
one?
the Wild game yesterday.
Oh, I
They
saw highlights
played-
of that on Instagram.
Did you see the Philip Gustafson
I
highlight by
did.
any chance?
I did. That was
Yeah, so to give you two some input, because I assume Jake and Gabe, neither of them, he's yawning over here, neither of them
the
seen it.
Rangers are undefeated though, so that's good.
No, they're not.
Yes, they are. They're 2-0.
They have an overtime loss.
What the heck? Why is that a different category? What the heck?
Because it's a different category, because if you lose in overtime, you get a point. Still.
Oh, okay.
So you get 3 points. Because you get
We're
1 point from a
2-1.
win. You get 2 points from a win and then 1 point from an overtime loss. Because it's like
Woo!
you battle it all the way out. The other team gets 2 points, but you at least get 1 point.
Cool.
That aside, so Jake and Gabe, neither of you saw the Philip Gustafson
I
play
did not.
from yesterday. It is one of the greatest things to see in hockey when a goalie scores.
What?
The goalie.
Really?
So
Dude, that's my favorite thing ever.
Wait, what happened?
That's
so
awesome.
there was a little bit of time left, and I forget what team they were playing against. Let me double check. But the team they were playing against, obviously you could pull your goalie and go an extra man forward. So they
Blues.
played against.
It was against the Blues.
It was the Blues, correct. So they pulled their goalie to have an extra guy on offense, and as soon as Gustafson got the puck near him, he just shot it to the other net
That's
and
awesome.
made it, and they were going nuts. And in his post-game interview, they were like, "What did you think about that?" He was like, he said, "As soon as I got it, I'm just gonna shoot it immediately."
I got a question.
Go for it.
Since I don't know hockey well, why wouldn't that be called icing? Because I feel like if the opponent is chucking the shot up behind enemy lines, that should be icing, no?
It has to go past the line.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
It has to go past the back line.
Yeah.
Okay.
So if they just chuck it up and miss, then it's just an icing.
Oh, but if it ends up in the net, it's not?
Yeah.
It also, well, then it could also be called by going past the back line of like where the net is. You know
Well,
what
yeah.
I mean? There's a line.
Say if he shot it and missed the net, then it would have been an icing.
Okay.
Yeah. That aside, there's been some other stuff going on in hockey. Ben, what do you think about the Utah Hockey Club so far?
Dude,
They're looking good.
I was trying to tell people, man, this team is. They made some shrewd offseason.
There's
I mean,
one name that I
Whoa,
really want to
wait.
say before any other name here,
Wait, hold on.
and it's
I
Dylan Gunther.
didn't realize Utah got a team. What the
yeah,
heck?
Arizona.
Arizona
Utah Hockey
moved to
Club.
Utah. Arizona moved to
Oh,
Utah.
wait, so no
became
more
the Utah
Coyotes?
Hockey Club. Yes, became the Utah
Oh.
Hockey Club this season, and they're gonna get their name next season.
Chris, they
But-
better be called the Utah Yeti, or I'm gonna lose
I
my.
agree.
They better
I
be called
agree.
the Yeti.
Who were the finalists? There were some pretty good ones there.
Yeti, Venom. a few other ones that aren't clicking in my head.
Keller, it's my guy. 6 points. Already.
Clayton Keller is an
Like,
animal, dude. He well deserved for him becoming captain, by the way. But what do you think about Dylan Gunther, dude? This kid looks unbelievable. I mean, we're talking 5 goals and 1 assist through 5 games already.
Yeah, the start of the season has been really, really interesting. I will say, for some reason, Edmonton just doesn't like the first 2 months of the season because they've sucked again at the start of the season, and New Jersey started off hot, which I also predicted because they had a really bad season last year. They got a really good goaltender, which was their biggest hole. But
yeah, Markstrom was a great pickup.
Yeah, and he's been really good for them. So I think like it's early. Like Toronto's at the top of the division. They're probably going to choke that away because they're Toronto. Pittsburgh's
happens.
Pittsburgh's been good for some reason. I don't really get it.
What do you think about the Flames being 4-0? I think they're the only undefeated team. Oh no, there's also still the Jets.
I think there's somebody
and the Stars.
I think there's somebody upstairs that's giving them some luck. That's all I'm gonna say there.
Really?
Yeah. Hey, he's looking down and helping them out. So
yeah, I like what I've been seeing overall though. Hockey's looking really fun. Obviously, there's some games going on tonight. The Penguins beat the Sabres 6-5. Maple Leafs beat the Kings 6-2. The Bruins are beating the Avalanche going into the third, 4-2, and Utah and the Ducks are tied with 8 minutes left in the second.
My cup winner pick that I don't know.
You already made a cup pick?
No, before the season. Dallas Stars. They look very good. I'm liking that pick so far. But
well, Wyatt Johnston's an animal, and you know I like that pick to begin with. But it's tough, man.
In hockey, I don't hate Dallas, but in football, they suck.
Yeah, what do you think about Jet Luchenko while we're at it?
Oh, he looks like he's going to be a really good player. I can't wait until he gets.
It's fast for an 18-year-old.
I really can't wait until he gets on that first power play because him bringing the puck into the zone, he's so quick. He would be great at that.
I'll say this too: if the Flyers are like I don't think they should be mad at their season at all so far. I mean, you fought out and beat Vancouver, who was a contender last year. Yeah, you had a bit of a loss against Calgary, but Calgary's off to a hot start. And if you're going to blame that Edmonton loss on anything, you should not, because what are you going to do when McDavid gets, like, obviously there was some bad defense in the game, but when McDavid gets a breakaway and he's in front of the net and then he takes a shot and it rebounds and then Draisaitl's right there's nothing you could do about it. It's the first and the third best player in the league dead in front of your net with nobody protecting the net besides Samuel Harrison.
Rasmus Ristolainen is so bad. He's so bad. I think that's where we end the segment. He stinks.
I agree. By the way, I also thought Sanheim scored on that one shot.
I got a quick question as well.
Go for it.
How's the former champs looking this year so far?
They're I mean, like, they're 3-2. So like, I mean, I thought they probably would have. I thought they would have won more. I thought they would have been undefeated at this time because I don't think their games were like insanely hard. Like I don't know how out of any team you lose to the Sabres and the Senators. Like those are usually they're usually like the lower end teams in hockey. I mean, yeah, the Senators are playing somewhat well this year. They just had that crazy win, by the way, which I'm glad I just remembered. They won against the Kings 8-7. There was no defense.
Wow.
There was no defense, bro. It was like a basketball game. Like unbelievable. Unbelievable. I mean, like I said, they're still playing good hockey. I don't expect anything less. But at the same time, too, when you win a championship, you know, some guys leave because they get paid more at other teams and stuff like that. So it just depends.
Evgeny Malkin has 11 points through 5 games. That's crazy. I didn't realize that. Why is he still good, bro?
I can't stand that guy. You know who else I can't stand?
They're probably the luckiest franchise in all of sports. I'd be willing to argue in terms of.
You know who else I can't stand, Ben?
No.
I cannot stand, especially after last night, I cannot stand Darnell Nurse or Corey Perry. Corey Perry talks so much trash for his last year where he was actually good was what? 2018? We like 6 years past this
Wait,
dude's
hold on.
prime.
That reminds me of someone. Do you know who that reminds me of?
Who?
C.J. Gardner-Johnson. Hasn't been good in
Bro.
years, and he still
Bro.
talks trash? That's crazy.
Bro, but we're talking about a dude who literally has almost 1,000 points over his career and is like talking mad trash after he literally got kicked off of a team. What, last year after 16 games he got kicked out of the Blackhawks club?
Yeah. He wasn't that bad for Edmonton though. Like there's a reason why he's a good leader, but yeah.
I'll put it to you this way, since Jake and Gabe probably don't know too much about it. He was kicked out for inappropriate reasons. Not like in a bad way, but inappropriate reasons.
Okay.
Look it up. You can look it up.
Look it up. Look it up. There you go. Look it up. It'll suffice to you. If any young kid is watching this episode, do not look it up. But, like you guys can go for it.
But,
yeah, so he's kind of an a-hole in a way. Okay. He's not a great guy whatsoever. He's always trying to fight people in. Like, if Farabee wanted nothing to do with him, he kept talking trash, and Farabee was like, all right, let's run it if you want to keep running your mouth. Then, I mean, you saw what happened. I wish we would have sent Delorier after him, honestly. He should have had it coming, and we should have sent Delorier after him. Anything else you want to touch base on, Ben, for hockey?
No, I think we're good for now. It's still pretty
all
good.
All right. Moving into our other half of the segment, MLB playoffs. Guess what, guys? The game just ended tonight. 8-0. Dodgers over the Mets.
Let's talk about the Yankees.
I don't want to talk about the Yankees. Yeah, we're talking about the Mets right now. It is 2-1 in the series now, the Dodgers versus the Mets, going into another game tomorrow at 8:08 with Yamamoto pitching up against Jose Quintana.
Here's what I'll say about the Mets. Gabe, you still don't have to worry. I mean, first of all, game 1, you guys got blown out, and then you won game 2. So
and then they got blown out game 3.
The difference between a 7-game series and a 5-game series is so much. It's so different because the Dodgers are lacking a rotation this postseason. So
that's why they got Yamamoto.
That's why as you get deeper into this series, you're going to have a better chance because they're going to start throwing out worse pitchers. Eventually, they'll just throw out a bullpen game. And that second game was basically a bullpen game because Landon Knack got absolutely destroyed. So, I mean, here's for the listeners watching, for the audience watching that doesn't understand why a 2-game difference is so big, I'll just break it down real quick. Basically, and the Yankees did this. Most teams, the Tigers did this. The Guardians did this. So basically, in a 5-game series, you have 2 off days. That means you can run a 3-man rotation and get away with it because you have an off day in between. So there's 2 guys running on 4 days rest, but that's okay in the playoffs because you got to give your best players the ball. In a 7-game series, there's too many games to run a 3-man rotation. It gets pushed to 5. You have to have a 5-man rotation in a 7-game series, or else you will have an absolutely horrible time and your bullpen will never get a break. So those 2 extra pitchers could be very bad or just not as good, or the Dodgers might run a bullpen game, which means the Mets have a better chance to win later down the line when they face least competitive pitching.
I love Kike Hernandez.
I'm just not. I don't know. I have
and
a
you're
different
home.
Feeling about this
Mets
series
are
than I
home.
did with the Phillies series. You're playing a team.
I mean,
that's
you're
just,
facing Gabe. You're facing a better team. You're facing the best team. In the league.
They're just. No disrespect to Chris and Ben. It's a much better team, and you can just see that by the way they play.
Absolutely.
The Phillies are a very good team. It's just they were lacking. There was a lot of mistakes, I felt like, in that series. A lot of errors, especially defensively.
According to Dave Dombrowski, we have enough star power, so it's fine. It's fine, dude. That was a horrible.
The Dodgers, they look so good from 1 to 9, and then especially defensively, it's
Here's
a tough.
the thing, though. I think we all accept the fact, and I cannot believe I'm saying this. The Yankees look like the best team right now.
Well, no, we're still talking about the Dodgers, I thought.
I mean, I hate to say it. I truly.
What about Shohei Ohtani? It's
Dude,
up, guys.
I
I love Shohei.
all around, the Yankees pitching and hitting is look good. I think the Dodgers pitching is questionable. I think it's okay. But
Wait, you know something too? I'm gonna throw this out there while we're looking at it and stuff, guys. I want you guys to just wait because Teoscar is literally doing awful right now. Wait till he finds his bat again.
Well,
That's
wait, hold
gonna
on,
be
hold on.
brutal.
Awful. That's crazy to call him awful. He had a grand slam to basically make the Dodgers go into the NLCS. That's crazy.
I'm talking about this series.
Okay, but also,
This
I mean,
series,
like,
he just went 5 for 1.
what?
He's went 5 for 1 with 2 strikeouts today.
Five hits?
Or 1 for 5. I mean.
Oh,
You know what I mean?
No, okay,
With,
but the
with
thing
2
is,
strikeouts.
okay,
He's not playing
also,
great this series.
but in the playoffs as well, if you get 1 hit a game, that's good in the playoffs. As long as you get 1 hit a game, or at least get
that
on
one
base,
hit's not
get on
gonna
base
matter if they get out.
But they won what? What was this final score? I didn't see.
8-0.
Yeah, they won 8-0. They don't.
I mean, in game 2, in game 1, he had he went 1 for 3 with 2 walks.
Yeah, exactly. So when he's getting on base and when he's hitting, they're winning. Last game, he probably, I'm not sure of the.
Or no, that was the game that they lost, actually.
Oh, okay. But the thing is, it's like Teoscar doesn't need to hit if they're scoring 8 runs. So he can wait for the World Series right now. If they were going to make it, the Mets still have a really good chance to come back. I mean, there's still at least
it just seems like he's walking a lot. Like he had 2 walks the other game before that.
That's good. That means he is seeing the ball well.
Here's my issue with the Mets. I have 2 big issues.
He's one of the main guys who drives in runs, though. That's why I want to see more from him.
Number 1, the Mets are live and die by what the top 2 guys in their lineup do. If Mark Vientos and Francisco Lindor don't get on base, they can't do anything. And number 2, you have a closer by the name of Ed Luz Diaz who's awful and sucks. And
I will say though, this series he hasn't had any effect just because they aren't close games.
That's what I'm saying. Some of these games are going to be close games, and I just do not trust your bullpen. I just truly don't.
Yeah.
And it wasn't even that good against the Phillies, but the Phillies just couldn't.
Especially not McGill.
Yeah, so we couldn't hit your starters at all, which is,
You know who I do trust though? Sean Manaea.
Ooh. Sean Manaea, by the way, has the weirdest warm-up pitching I've ever seen.
Oh yeah, where he's standing on the mound.
Yeah,
to
he
left
sits on
and
he stands on the opposite mound in the bullpen and then pitches to the right side of the plate.
I don't really understand that. They were explaining it on the broadcast.
It's because of his arm angle. His arm angle basically, I'm not left-handed, so I'll do this right-handed. His arm angle basically comes from over here. So he's pitching to the other batter's box simply to make it to where he like straightens it out. I don't.
Yeah, that's the part I don't understand. It's like you're not pitching on the mound to the left in like the actual game. You're like,
he's so disgusting is because he's one of like 2 MLB pitchers that has this crossfire motion, and he just got that over the last year, which is why it's disgusting. I think next season he's going to get cooked. But
just wait for the league to figure him out. 100%.
Exactly. Next season he's going to get cooked. I
agree.
So
moving into Jake's team now a little bit. First question that I have for you, Jake, is how confident are you in Schmidt pitching tomorrow?
Oh, so confident. I love Clark Schmidt. I mean, the thing is, Luis Gil has had a better year, and Luis Gil's a Rookie of the Year candidate. But in the ALDS, they chose Schmidt over Gil. So Schmidt, they trust more, and I also trust more because he's an older pitcher. He's pitched in the league longer. I think my final prediction for Guardians-Yankees is Yankees in 5. They won't sweep. I don't think any team sweeps, which it's not possible anymore. I think it's Yankees in 5.
You know what, Jake? I'm glad you said that because at least you guys are giving Cleveland one game to get Cleveland's fans' hopes up a little bit just because of what they're going through with their football team.
Exactly. But the Yankees will still win in Cleveland.
So. You know what I will tell you, though? I think it's a little odd that they're throwing Boyd in to pitch against you guys, especially because Aaron Judge is great against lefties.
So here's the thing about the Yankees.
Aaron Judge sucks in the playoffs. I don't care.
Hey, just hit home run last game. Hey, just hit home run.
He has 1 home run in the playoffs.
Shut up. Your team sucks. Okay, anyway. Your team's not even in the NLCS. Okay, So
Hey,
basically,
at least we
Chris,
played a good team. You guys haven't played
Jake,
it.
I don't think he's as bad as you guys say he is against lefties. I don't think so.
no, okay, here's the thing, Chris. If you were watching the Yankees all year, you would know they're bottom 5 in the league against left-handed pitching, and this is the perfect the scenario for the Yankees. I predicted and wanted, by the way, I predicted the Tigers to win, and I predicted the Royals to win. If the Astros would have beat the Tigers and the Astros would have made it to the ALCS, they would have beat the Yankees because their rotation is mainly left-handed. Same thing with the Tigers and the Royals. The Royals lost the game against Cole Reagans because Cole Reagans is one of the top pitchers in the league, and he's also left-handed. The Tigers have someone by the name of Tariq Skubal, who's this Cy Young this year and the best pitcher in the league. Tariq Skubal won both games against the Guardians in the ALDS. He lost game 5 because they pitched him too much, but he still dominated for the first 4 innings of the game until he came in for the 5th and 6th and gave up a grand slam against Lane Thomas, who crushes lefties. The Yankees suck against left-handed pitching, which is why there's no good lefties left.
I think it's a different time, though. It's October baseball.
Well, they haven't faced a lefty in the playoffs yet. They literally, except for Cole Reagans.
That's what I mean. That's what I mean. It's different. It's a different baseball time. That's why I think I'm gonna be so honest. I think Aaron Judge has a home run off of him.
Oh, I would love to. The thing is, Matthew Boyd is not that good of a pitcher. I mean, he was a throw-in for this game.
That's what I mean. That's why I think Aaron Judge is gonna hit a home run off of him.
So
he had one of the best seasons of his career, though. I mean, he didn't pitch that many innings, but in the innings he had an under.
Oh yeah, I'd say with Alex Cobb, he had a great season too, but he barely pitched. Here's the thing, Glaber hits lefties well. Juan Soto actually hits lefties better than righties. Judge this year hits righties better. Stanton, who career-wise hits lefties better, surprisingly hits righties better this year, which is weird. Austin Wells can't hit lefties, which Austin Wells, by the way, he needs to get benched. He needs a day off. He just needs a day off, especially against a lefty. Let Jose Trinier play.
For baseball,
like Alec Bohm.
Like Alec Bohm. He needs a day off. Plus, he's a catcher. You're allowed to give catchers days off. Jazz Chisholm hits righties better, of course. He's left-handed. He also needs a day off. He needs to take a break. He's swinging at everything. He's not taking walks. He just got picked off last game. I mean, come on, bro.
Welcome to the Chisholm experience.
Right? Anthony Rizzo doesn't hit lefties well. Verdugo doesn't hit lefties well. Jason Dominguez should start, but Verdugo's going to play the outfield for defense. The Yankees don't hit lefties well, but Matthew Boyd's not that good of a pitcher. So I think the Yankees still do well. Do I think they lose this game? Yes. I think they lose game 3, and then they win game 4 and 5.
I think you guys are going to sweep them. Honestly.
I would love for them. I would love to get swept. But the thing is, I don't want the Yankees to sweep. The only reason I don't want the Yankees to sweep is because we would have more downtime to make it to the World Series, because there's no way the Dodgers win in 5.
I'm going to
go 6 at least.
I'm going to say 3 things. First off, be happy because Luisio is going to pitch the following game on Friday. That aside, you better hope that you have the money to pay Soto.
Yes, sir.
That's one thing I'll say. And the last thing I'll say is, Jake, you and me had a little conversation today. I'd like you to lay it out to the crowd.
I forget.
Might have to go look.
Okay, hold on. What was it on?
If you forget already.
Was it on?
It was through text messages.
Okay. This is the conversation I had with Chris.
Lay it out for the crowd.
Okay. This is really funny. Ben, this is going to be a shock to you, and honestly, Gabe, too. Chris is rooting.
You can read it out word for word. Word for word.
He said, this is at 11:47 a.m. Yo, Jake, between you and me, if it's a New York World Series, I'm rooting for the Yankees.
Of course he is.
But don't tell anybody. I'm going to save it for the episode. And then
what's the message? What's the other message I said?
The
one right before it says don't tell no one.
Oh, at the moment I want the Dodgers to win. That's fine.
Okay. And then the last message.
I responded with join us. Join the Yankees.
Now use the last message.
And Chris responds with, I'm not a fan of the Yanks, but Mark Vientos is almost as hated as Mahomes. So he's gonna be rooting against the Mets.
Any day of the week.
This guy is a hater.
All I'll also say is if it winds up being a New York World Series, it's gonna what?
It's gonna what? It's gonna feed families. It's gonna.
No, I think it's gonna be riots in New York. There's gonna be people beating
absolutely.
each other up in New York.
Say-
It's gonna be literally
Grimace
chaos.
is gonna go crazy.
All I'm gonna say
And
is
all I'm gonna say is, Gabe, you're gonna lose that on a lot of fans because there's a lot more Yankees fans than Mets fans. So you're gonna lose that on a lot of fans.
The Yankees are an international brand. The Mets are more like a New York thing.
a ton
So
of money if that happened, bro. Speaking of which, John Boy, why didn't you hire my boy, bro? Like, what happened?
Gabe, you just
Hey, I'm
like
wearing the merch.
Gabe. I hate to be that guy, but you just like all the like secondary New York teams.
Besides the Giants.
Besides the
are
Giants,
always gonna be number one.
Devils, Nets, Mets. Like they're all secondary teams. Just stop liking the Giants. Start liking the Jets.
The
Second
Jets are
teams.
not.
It.
The Giants
it.
being secondary team. First off, we have 4 times the amount of Super Bowls that you have. Second off, the
No,
Jets
I said
are
start
the,
liking the Jets.
if they're playing better for one season, the Giants are in the long run. When you look at the grand scheme of the NFL, the Giants have always been one of the best teams in the league. The Jets, on the other hand, towards the bottom. Right? That's just how it is. The Giants are the number 1 team in New York, and they just always will be. They'll have these periods of 10 years at a time where we play like
Just wait for us to
play
get
really
people.
badly, but like at the 4 Super Bowls, we're gonna win another Super Bowl in a matter of time. Like that's just how it is.
Alright.
With the New York Giants, we're the biggest market in football.
Any final thoughts before we move into our last segment?
Yankees are winning the World Series.
Yeah, I need to hear your predictions. I want to hear what you all think about the NLCS.
It's gonna be the Mets in 7,
Really?
Yankees
Okay.
in
No.
5, Subway Series rematch.
No.
I got.
Bias aside, Chris.
Dodgers in 5.
I agree.
Okay.
Dodgers in 5, Yankees in 4, and then
I think Yankees in 4 too. I think Yankees in 4 too. Unfortunately,
Ben, what was
because
your-
the Guardians literally haven't won a World Series in 86 years. So
Ben, what
I'm
was
telling you
well,
right
2020? Ben, what was your World Series prediction?
I'm going Yankees in 6 over the Dodgers. I just think the Yankees have the best starting pitching left, and I've told you guys a million times how much I value starting pitching. I know the Mets have solid starting pitching too.
Jake, I got a question for you.
Yo.
Let's just act like no one on the podcast heard this or any of the viewers. Just because I've been so sickened and upsetting to not have a parade in my city, can I just come stay at your house for the parade and just throw in a Yankees jersey?
Woo! I'll give you. Actually, I only have Garrett Cole. I'll give you my brother's Aaron Judge jersey.
Where would the Mets?
Can I just come and enjoy
It's the
something
same spot as
for
the
once?
Yankees, Ben. Like, what are you talking
If
about?
This is
Jake,
my first ever
Jake,
parade. This would be my
Jake,
first ever parade.
if it happens, Jake, can I just come and celebrate with you? And
Here's the thing.
we just won't act
Oh
like.
my god, I haven't even started thinking about going to the parade or anything because I don't think. It's
Yeah, you
real
don't
yet.
want to dig so like that.
But the thing is, it's like, in the grand scheme of things, you guys
Sleep
have
over
had a
at Jake's
parade.
house.
You guys have had a parade more recently than I've had. The last time any New York team won was 2011 Super Bowl, Gabe, I believe, with the Giants. That was the last New York
Yes,
win,
Sounds
right?
right.
Yeah,
Yes.
exactly. So since I've been born, I've only experienced 3 rings, and I wasn't watching any of them because I was too young. I need a ring in New York.
Well,
and
okay,
honestly,
let's make one thing real clear, real quick. The Brooklyn Nets were the 2022 NBA champions. I don't care. Kyrie Irving and James Harden both missed 4 games that series. 4 each. That's KD
No one
still
cares
almost
about
sent
the
them to the
Nets,
NBA Finals.
bro.
As much as I hate KD, he almost sent them to that.
Bro, no
to a
one
conference
cares
finals
about the
without
Brooklyn
KD and Kyrie.
Nets. That's why the
Brooklyn
Brooklyn
should have won
Nets.
that.
That's why the Brooklyn Nets traded for Kevin
shoe was
Garnett
too
and Paul
big.
Pierce.
Gabe, his
It
shoe was too big.
and Jason Terry.
Yeah, and
His
Jason
shoe
Terry.
was too big, Gabe.
All right.
His shoe was on the line.
Moving
Mets, all right.
on.
Real quick, Mets in
Into-
7. Here's how it's going to happen. They're going to be down 3 in the bottom of the 9th. Francisco Alvarez, who's been non-existent on offense this entire basically playoff run, is going to hit a grand slam and send us to the World Series.
Or Brett Beatty.
He's not even on the
Um,
roster.
Moving on.
He's in Cancun.
To our NFL segment first to give the recap on the scores for the games from this past week. Obviously, we had Thursday night football of the 49ers stomping on the Seahawks 36-24. I actually thought the Seahawks were going to win that game, but oh well. Guess what, Jake? You get to be happy. Bears stomping on the Jaguars 35-16.
You know what's funny too? The Jags are playing in London back-to-back weeks, so they might as well just move there.
it's
Doug
it's
Peterson
rough.
has to get fired after.
They're
this.
playing
rough.
back-to-back weeks.
Well, they basically
Why?
they do that because their owner wants them to move to London, but the NFL
Yeah.
won't let them. It's
They shouldn't. They just shouldn't. But anyway.
No, it's
There was
the National Football League.
there was a crazy game, an actual rival game too, with the Buccaneers 51-27 over the Saints.
What a game!
The Saints might be cooked though. They lost both.
I think they
Also,
are cooked.
Baker
They're
threw
cooked.
three
I think
picks.
they're more cooked because of Devontae Adams not going to them.
Yeah.
That
Also,
was 27-24 New Orleans at the half.
their quarterbacks hurt and the
Baker
top
threw
two
three
receivers
picks
are hurt.
too. So that's crazy.
Mhm.
And Rashad White was out. Bucky Irving started. Good for him.
Yes. Yeah, Sean Tucker. Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
He should not be on waiver wires right now, is all I'm gonna say.
I don't know.
Jeez.
I mean,
Also, where did
Kyler's
Chris
RB
Olave
right
go?
there.
I know he got ruled out with a concussion for this week. Where'd he go? He hasn't done anything for fantasy. He's like ranked number 35th in the league. What happened?
Yo, Alan Lazard's my guy.
And Rashid Shaheed just got hurt. Like they have no receivers. Jawan
they're
Johnson's gonna lead the receptions.
They're cooked. I don't even know who their wide receiver 3 is. Anyone know?
they probably
Not
still
Michael
got Marcus
Thomas.
Colston on that roster, honestly.
Not Michael Thomas, I'll tell you that.
Michael Thomas is
Victor Cruz.
awful.
Sign him.
Imagine.
What?
Hey,
Um,
Sterling Shepard, he's on the
The
bus.
game
Yeah, I heard
the
they're bringing
game
back Ruben
after
Randall.
that was the Ravens beating the Commanders 30-23. And I want to say one quick thing on that game.
Yeah.
I forget the guy's name. To that Ravens fan who after the game proceeded, I don't know, did any of you three see that video?
Yeah, the guy that like started.
There was a
picking fights
Ravens
with the
fan
random
who went
Commanders fans.
after Commanders fans for no apparent reason and just beat up
Oh.
2 Commanders fans.
Oh my
That is
God.
very unclassy of you, and the
That's
whole
not-
internet knows who you are, and I think you're getting some assault charges sent
Yeah,
your
he
way.
was.
Oh, 100%.
I mean, without the address being.
Jake, I'm not
being
kidding.
public,
He
he was
knocked
basically
out a
doxxed.
Commanders fan, like literally knocked him
Oh,
out.
it was like cold.
Why? Because they were
Yeah.
talking
And he
trash.
No, they weren't even talking trash. He just did it and then flexed about it, saying, "Yeah, I don't lose like the Ravens."
In the words of Leon Edwards, headshot
Dude.
dead.
It's not honestly, yeah, it's not cool though. You
Yeah.
really aren't cool at all. It's different if you guys are actually fighting, but you just win
Yeah.
and beat up 2 guys who weren't even fighting. Like it's
That was so weird. I thought there was more context when I
it's-
first saw it.
there was
but he
no
literally-
context.
Because you just see him walk up to them and like kind of like point to the ground like he's Max Holloway or something like that.
Yeah, bro. Yeah, I can't wait
So
till we
weird.
get to talk about that, Gabe. Oh my God, I can't wait till we get to talk about that.
Me
Moving
too.
on, the next game was the Packers winning 34-13 over the Cardinals. The Cardinals are starting to fall off now, man. It's kind of upsetting from when they
defense
opened up the
sucks.
gates. I know they opened up the gates though, hot with Marvin Harrison and stuff, but what are you gonna do?
Weird as well.
The Colts beat the Titans 20-17. Nothing crazy with that game. Same with the Texans beating the Patriots 41-21. Besides the fact that Drake May looks good. The Eagles won in Eagles fashion by 4 points over the awful
Guys, I had
Cleveland Browns
Eagles
20-16.
8.5, 9.5, whatever it was. You couldn't beat them by 2 scores.
When you bet,
What are we
it
doing there?
doesn't happen. When you
What are
bet, it
we
doesn't
doing?
happen, Gabe.
What's funny this week, Gabe, is that the Giants. Well, the Eagles are still
We
favored.
do have
but
an
only
interesting
minus-
game this week, don't we?
Only -3. Only -3 for the.
I think the odds should almost be even for this, honestly.
We play the
Honestly,
Giants, right?
Hey,
We're missing Tibbs.
Hey, calm
We're missing
down.
Thibodeau.
You're missing neighbors.
You're
Yes.
missing-
No,
No,
not
Neighbors
necessarily.
might play. It's Thibodeau
He's trending in
and
the right direction,
this-
apparently.
this should
No,
have been in the
is
news.
Singletary playing or not?
He
Because
probably
Tyrone
is.
It's better if
Tracy's
he
been
doesn't,
cooking
honestly.
right.
It's
I
better,
agree
it's better if he
with
doesn't.
Tracy
Chris,
Jr.
you should have said this in the news, by the way. Andrew Thomas out for the year.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I forgot
Yes.
about that.
That's
He is
a problem.
injury
forgot about that.
prone. He is injury prone, but
All I'm gonna
this
say
also
is
gives the
that's
Giants
the
more
only-
reason.
the only guy I actually like off the Giants, and for one reason, and if you know the reason, you know.
Hey, I just want to say Bryce.
Why
Huff-
is everyone quiet? No one knows the reasoning
Who
behind
was
it.
it? Who's the player you like?
He's a
Andrew
bulldog.
Thomas, I'm
Oh,
saying.
because he was a bulldog. That's easy.
Yeah.
But Gabe, guess who's starting at left tackle?
Do we have Evan Neal at left tackle?
Evan Neal.
Yo, you could be hype
played-
about Evan Neal, but like,
Bryce Huff legacy game. Bryce Huff legacy
yeah,
game.
yeah,
Five
like,
sacks
Here's the
for
thing.
Bryce
you
Huff.
should
the Eagles
should
don't
be
get
hype
more than
about
3
Evan Neal
sacks-
because Bryce Huff sucks. He's
If the
the
Eagles
worst
don't
player
get
I've seen
more than
step in
3
an Eagles
sacks,
jersey.
The Eagles are cooked because Evan Neal, first of all, he should be flipping burgers because he sucks. He is so bad at his
You
job.
want Matt
but
Hennessy? We dropped
But
Matt Hennessy.
I'll take
Temple
Matt
alum,
Hennessy.
if you
I'll take
want.
anybody over Evan Neal. But Evan Neal in college played left tackle. And as we all know, moving from left tackle to
my
right tackle
God.
or vice versa in the NFL is
All
really,
right.
really hard.
I
It's
need
very
to
hard.
go over the scores of these games so we could go into our predictions and stuff. for the
Eagles
week.
Giants is gonna be a fun one.
Chargers beat the Broncos 23-16. The Steelers stomped on the Raiders 32-13. Falcons beat the Panthers 38-20. I'm skipping over a game because I want to come back to it. The
Yeah, I
Bengals
love
beat
that
the Giants 17-7. And the
Okay.
Bills beat the Jets 23-20, leading to them trading for Devontae and the Bills saying, "Yeah, we're right back at you with Amari Cooper." Now the game that I skipped over, most people would know, but if you don't know, the Lions destroyed
I have
the Cowboys
I have 2 points about this game.
47-9. And I seen
That
a
was a fun
video.
game to
Wait, I
watch.
seen a hilarious video. I forget who it was, but it was a guy on TikTok and he was like, "Oh, wait, what's his name? Oh, I just remembered the dude's name. He's a YouTuber too. And he plays like Madden all the time. He made a video and he was like, wait, what'd you say his name? Ben?
MMG or Bengal?
No, I think his name's Ben. And he made a video and it was like, yeah, we're gonna keep scoring and we're gonna keep scoring. He was like, throw to the left tackle now. He's like, touchdown. Throw to the tight end. Touchdown. He said, no, we're not stopping. It's like, but we're up like 30. I don't care. Touchdown.
I have 2 points for this
Touchdown.
game. First, did you guys see the Lions social media team, by the way, is the best social media team for any sports. They posted, so the Cowboys posted a photo of having like 93,000 fans in attendance.
Are you gonna talk
But
about the blurry?
They blurred out the score on the scoreboard. Then the Lions social media team claps back and they go, "I think you blurred something out there," and showed the final score. So funny. And then there was another video surfacing online where there was a Cowboys fan. It was a woman in a Cowboys jersey, and unfortunately she was like throwing up. She had too much to drink or whatever. There were 2 Lions fans. One was a grown man who was grittying by her. And then
I remember
there was
that.
a young kid following him, also grittying past this woman who was seriously having a problem.
Yo,
just
I'm not gonna
throwing up
lie.
all over the ground.
I'm not gonna lie. When it comes time, I'm really pushing hard for Detroit to win the Super Bowl.
Oh,
Really?
goodness.
If the
It's-
Eagles don't come close, Detroit.
My-
1000%.
I think I said this before.
Detroit.
My early Super Bowl matchup is Detroit versus Houston. That's my early Super Bowl matchup.
That would be a really fun.
Yo,
one.
that would be hard for me to root for though. I like
Yeah,
both teams.
I like
know,
both. I like both.
In Baltimore, I need Baltimore to get over the hump.
Both teams. Baltimore
Yeah.
again over
The
no
fans
hump.
win if that happens.
Lamar
Absolutely.
Jackson is the #1 choke artist on the planet. That
Oh.
that just will not happen. But that was an amazing game. And Jake, this is why I keep asking you for David Montgomery.
He's mine. That
All
guy.
right. Hey, I
I'll
think
give you Amari Cooper.
I think there's a certain thing that happened last week that we should,
What?
some predictions maybe.
Oh wait.
Oh,
You want to talk about Spencer Rattler?
No.
Yeah, I think
Is that what you
talking
were
about
referring
the,
to?
No.
Former 5-star.
Nobody ever wants to
No.
start talking about it.
What about Will Levis? He lost to Joe Flacco.
Joe Flacco's
Yeah.
good. What are you talking about? He's going to
Elite,
start again, by the
some
way.
say.
Anthony
Flacco
Richardson is
elite
still
quarter-
hurt.
Can we bring back the Joe Flacco is elite conversation?
Oh, wait, by the way, I need to, real quick
We
before we go
might.
into the predictions, I have a question for you guys. It came out that the comeback player of the year for the NFL is now only going to be given to players coming back off of injury after Joe Flacco won it last year. So I have 2 questions. First, do you like that? And
No.
second, should the NFL now have a most improved player award,
Yes.
which I think they should.
I think they should too.
No,
But you know who would win
because
it? You know who would win
Sam
all the awards
Darnold-
anyways?
Sam Darnold should win comeback player of the year this year. There's no doubt in my mind he should win it.
Without a doubt.
You know who should win that award?
Who?
Jimmy Graham.
Oh my goodness. Do you know what I just realized is going to win comeback player of the year and
Jimmy
it's not
Graham.
fair? No, Aaron Rodgers. He's going to be the comeback player of the year and that's just not fair to Sam Darnold.
Didn't know that. That's what it was going to be the whole time. That was the
Yeah,
whole.
exactly. That's so unfair to Sam
Uh,
Darnold.
It ain't gonna
the
be
whole rule
Rodgers.
is just very. I
It
don't
ain't gonna
understand
be
it. You're
Rodgers,
taking
dude.
away all
Come
these
on.
storylines by not making. We're not taking away the storylines, but you're making it less of a reason to root for
Yeah.
them
I
if
don't
they're
think
not
it'll
up
be
for an award.
Rodgers.
The
Like
NFL is the no fun league for a reason.
they
That's
are,
true.
and they have this award that's like so perfect that I don't see another league with
All
anything
I'm gonna
like
say
that. With
is
the comeback
I'm just
player of the
not a
year.
fan of the way Roger Goodell thinks or runs things.
Me neither.
Surprisingly,
that's
no,
just me.
I actually don't like Roger Goodell and how he runs things
Yeah.
over there. You
He
know,
definitely doesn't get booed
Listen,
every time he
Listen, guys,
announces
you
a
know
pick.
what we could always do.
it's not.
We could
It's not on
always
his
go
fault.
up.
Listen.
Gabe, we could always invite you to the radio station over at Temple and have a sit down chat in the room with Liam Gianelli, our other buddy from WHIP who has Roger Goodell's number. We could always call
Listen,
him.
I'm a big fan of
and give him
I'm
our
a big
thoughts.
subscriber to the belief that it's not always the commissioner. There's a lot of things that go on behind the
Most
scenes. It's
likely.
not one man making the decisions. They're not the dictator. Goodell is just the face of the league, just like Ronnie 2K is the face of NBA 2K, even though he's just the PR
I
guy.
despise Ronnie
Like,
2K.
He's the PR guy. He has no say in what goes on.
All right, we gotta get to predictions, bro. It's
Yeah.
Yep.
Says who? Fine.
Says us.
because I have the okay. I'm not gonna spoil
That's
anything.
just dying to hear it.
I have to go to bed.
All right, fine. Jake,
All
set
right, so
us
first
up.
match of the week. we
Set
got
us
the
up.
Broncos
Start
and the
up. Wait,
Saints.
no. Hold on. Jake's got to give the rundown first.
Yeah, let's get into the rundown. Very quick rundown this
skip
week because
Jake.
we are all tired. This is the best week we have ever had. First of all, as a group. Second of all, I don't think any other podcast or prediction had as good of a week as we did because the worst person this week was a three-way tie with only 3 losses going 11-3. It was Chris, Gabe, and Jake, which means there's one more person on top of that list, but we'll get to him in just a second. He's wearing his sunglasses right now because he knows he had a great week. Real quick, Chris, 11-3. Your worst loss was the Broncos and the Commanders. Both of them lost. Everybody else, you were on an island, and your island picks did not unfortunately work this week for you. Hopefully, you'll have good luck this week. Gabe, 11-3. Your worst loss. You didn't have any terrible losses, but the Giants and the Jets, both in New York. Which, if you saw the graphic, I put the Statue of Liberty in your biggest losses. I thought that was great.
To be fair, I did think that Malik Neighbors was going to play, and that would have played a massive factor.
And I thought Devin Singletary was going to play too, to be honest.
I like Tyrone.
Yeah, but Tyrone Tracy's been cooking.
Oh, absolutely.
He's amazing.
And for myself, my worst pick of the week was the Cleveland Browns. I hate pick the Eagles every single week, and I will do it once again this week. But they're also facing my favorite team. Now on to the champion of this week. He has his sunglasses on right over there. Ben Lotman went 12-3 by far, or 12-2, by far the best record we have ever seen so far this year. 2 games away from being perfect. 2 games. And those 2 losses were the Saints and the Cardinals. So Ben, potentially, and believe it or not, Ben, you are now only 2 games back from being tied for 3rd place because, Chris, you still are in 1st place, but you have a 1-game lead behind myself and Gabe. Ben, 2 games out, 3 games out from 1st place. What a comeback.
Jake, is it still when in doubt Ben against Ben? Is it still a thing?
Well, to be fair, it did work for me every time I bet against them, besides the New York teams. So,
guys, I just want to warn you. This week, my predictions are kind of spicy, so I might go up or down the standings.
All right, let's get into it, Jake.
I'm ready.
Start us out. All the confidence. Don't go 2-12.
The first game that we have is the Broncos and Saints. It's a little quiet over there, Ben.
I'm looking there. It is right there.
You thinking there, Ben?
Oh, this is the first ever time I'm seeing Ben.
I'm just pulling up my notes.
I'm scared now because I had like a fallback kind of like I'm not going to come in last place, but like now it's all right there. Anybody could have anybody's first place right now. It's anybody's game.
There's last place. We'll have a punishment as well. We're not sure what it is, but
I'm making a last-minute switch. I'm going with the Denver Broncos. I
did the exact same thing actually.
I was going to go with the Saints, but then I realized that they don't have a wide receiver core and they have a rookie quarterback. So I'm going to go with the Broncos.
I did not put that together right now.
Their defense is really solid.
No receivers. Spencer Rattler.
I didn't even
quarterback.
think that Rattler was at quarterback. I forgot about that.
Their only weapon is Alvin.
I think everyone knows who I'm picking here.
I love the Saints.
I picked the Broncos last week. They let me down. I'm picking them again though.
Wow, back to back.
Listen, Spencer Rattler was the number 1 quarterback in the country out of high school for a reason. I'm just kidding. I'm picking the Broncos.
Yep, we're in the consensus here. This is going to be a terrible Thursday night game, by the way.
No, I think the Sunday game at 9:30 a.m. is even worse.
Oh,
Jacksonville
honestly,
and the
that's like-
Patriots.
If you guys know one of my favorite YouTubers, this is just shout out to him, Urinating Tree. This is Tank Bowl. Tank Bowl. You should watch Urinating Tree. It's hilarious.
Jaguars versus the Patriots.
So Ben,
guys.
what you're saying is whoever loses this game is almost guaranteed going to get the number 1 overall pick?
I mean, the Tank Bowl isn't always there's more than one a season. There's more than one a season, but more than likely yes. And with that being said, Doug Peterson, you gotta go. Doug Peterson is still here. He's not winning another football game. I'm going with the New England Patriots. I know. I just think you look at the quarterback play, and honestly, I think Trevor Lawrence is going to get outplayed. I truly do. I just don't know what's going on with that team.
Not hard, by the way. Not hard whatsoever.
I really don't know what's
Jake,
going
are
on.
you picking the Patriots, Jake?
I'm going with the Patriots.
I am not. Chris, by the way, this is the first time I'm not picking against the Jags. And my thought process with this game is if you're staying in London and playing in 2 weeks in a row, you should beat whatever team you're facing. I'm going with the Jags, but simply because they were in London last week.
You know what? I think I'm overthinking this. I'm gonna go with Jacksonville for the sole factor of I think Doug knows he's on the hot seat. I think he wants to start racking it up. I think your first way to start racking it up more is to take a win over the Patriots.
I honestly think
think
if he wins this game, he's going to get fired. I don't even think it matters unless they dominate.
All right. I'm gonna go Jacksonville. Gabe.
This is actually so tough. Like I have no idea. Both teams are.
I think it's tough too.
Drake May is playing. You don't know how is he gonna put up a good performance 2 weeks straight? Are the Patriots even good enough to like win a game at this point? I don't even know. I'll go New England.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Split. All right, Jake. We rocking it. Next game, Detroit Lions versus the Vikings. Division game.
I like this.
Guys, I'll start us off because I'm heated and I'll start us off. I didn't expect the Vikings to go 5-0 this year, but they ain't going 6-0. Give me Detroit. Give me Dan Campbell. Give me Monty. Give me Detroit, baby. Let's rock, dude. If you can stomp on the Cowboys, you can stomp on the Vikings. Let's go.
I don't want to spoil my future picks for this week, but I'm going to slightly spoil it a little bit. I don't think there's going to be any undefeated teams left at the end of this week. I'm going with Detroit on the road going into Minnesota. I think they're a wagon right now. They are a wagon. They're the best team in the league.
I have a feeling that we might have consensus here. I'm also good in Detroit.
Yeah,
I think the Vikings. It's got to come to an end at some point. They're not going to be an undefeated team for much longer. And this is the best team that they've had so far. Detroit is just looking great. 47 points.
Make it a consensus.
All I gotta say is we gotta bring down the powerhouses because there's no undefeated teams this year. The Vikings, you're gonna lose.
Minnesota. The French Fancy Podcast has some against you. The French Fancy Podcast. We got some against you guys this week.
We kind of do. I feel like
you're done for
all the time.
Next up, the Giants beat them in the playoffs 2 years ago. So.
Next up, I'll start us off again because why not? Amari Cooper legacy game. Who even is Will Levis? Give me the Bills. Are we crazy? Give me the Bills. Did you say he's not going to play?
He's barely going to play because the difference between him and Adams is Cooper has to learn a whole new playbook. Adams can just go out and run straight the whole game.
He'll play, dude.
Why? He'll play, but he won't play he won't play the whole game.
Amari Cooper is going to have the best game of his year.
All I'm going to say
this week.
I don't know if you've watched Amari Cooper play this year, but he looks really slow and he's dropped a bunch of balls. So
and that was with who as his quarterback and giving him but this was giving him the idea of like, why do I even play when I have Deshaun Watson as my quarterback?
You know, I still think you guys in Philadelphia should look into a trade for him.
This acquisition is reminding me a lot of Robert Quinn. That's all I'm gonna say.
Interesting.
I'll
go next. I'll go next for this game. Bit of a spoiler for my picks as well. I'm predicting every New York team to win this week. And I guess the Bills, they're a New York team. They're in Buffalo. I got the Bills this game.
It's Buffalo. It's like
Ben, are you going the Will Levis route? I dare you.
You see my lights. They are blue. Now, I will say my progress.
You still got the shades on you.
My progress seemed to turn around when I picked against my Tennessee Titans, and sadly, I am gonna have to do that again. But I will say, I'm cheering on my Titans to get that #1 pick. Let's go. They got to rebuild the franchise somehow. So yeah. Also, I'm not getting that Will Levis jersey.
Ben, new deal.
I don't know if I'm going to agree.
If the Titans win 3 games, you got to buy a Will Levis jersey. 3 more games.
No.
They're going to win 3 more.
Just keep trying to talk.
You believe that much that they're going to win 3 more games?
Just wait for Penn State to lose.
Don't make them get a Will Levis jersey. I mean, if Penn State loses, that's fine. Yeah. But
Penn State needs to lose.
Crazy.
Penn State needs to lose 3 more games out of their last 5, which is not going to happen. So.
All right. Next up, we have the Dolphins, and we have the Dolphins and the Colts.
Wait, Gabe, you picked the Bills, right?
Yeah, I took
Yes, he did. All right. Dolphins, Colts.
Game of the week right here?
No.
No.
I don't know who I want in this.
Joe Flacco.
Yeah, you know what?
I think Anthony Richardson might be playing.
Joe Flacco, Colts.
Joe Flacco was already named.
No,
I'll take Joe Flacco in the Colts.
Are you serious? Because I was starting Anthony Richardson this week.
Does he projected points?
Bro, that's unbelievable. This guy's just not going to play quarterback ever again.
I thought Joe Flacco was announced. Well, what's the point if they're winning with Flacco?
Yeah, no, I completely agree. I just like I took Anthony Richardson pretty early.
I'll go with Joe Flacco, Ben.
For some reason, Indianapolis is only 3.5-point favorites. This is my bet of the week. Indianapolis to win and cover that spread at 3.5. That's crazy. That's a horrible spread. I'm going Indianapolis easy. They're going to win by double digits.
Jake.
100%.
Yeah.
Well, Jake just answered for himself.
Yeah, Colts. We're going Colts.
Gabe?
Yep. Colts across the board.
Wow, a lot of consensus.
Next
so far.
game. Someone get it? Is somebody good?
I think that's outside
my
my apartment.
going off. No, that's my smoke alarm. But somebody's cooking food, so I think we're.
I was gonna say that sounded like right here. What? That's crazy.
That's crazy.
It's still going off.
I'm gonna mute myself and go figure this out. Hold on.
Okay.
Let's not do the.
In the meantime, we have the Seahawks and Falcons, which is tough.
This
is a tough game.
I think the Seahawks had a paperweight schedule to start, and their 3 wins were against nobody. And when they actually played teams, they've lost all.
I agree.
I think the Falcons are a good team, no matter what certain people say. Also, I didn't have time to go on this tangent. I'm going to go on a quick 30-second tangent that has nothing to do with this since Jake isn't here.
I'm chilling.
He is here.
Oh, okay. Well,
sunglasses are blocking out more than just the sun.
People that say that because you're doing good at fantasy football, you know ball, that's the stupidest thing I've ever heard, bro. Fantasy football and no
true. Yeah, it's
thing. They're not the same thing, bro. It's just not. Okay?
I will make a point to that.
Fantasy football championship before, it's not the same thing. But with that being said, Atlanta.
I will make a point to that as well. Fantasy football is largely luck, but it's also I think there's a case of when you know so much, it almost like hurts you because you're trying to pick up those players that nobody else knows, or even just more so just tricking yourself into thinking that something's going to happen when in reality there's an easy choice to be made. Fantasy football, it's a game of luck, but it's also like trying to not dumb yourself down, but like it's tough when you know a lot of football.
You got to take the easy picks.
You know what? I hate Atlanta, but I'm going to go Atlanta.
Wow.
Also Atlanta for me.
Whoa, really?
Yeah.
I can't believe that you guys are all picking the Falcons because I think the Seahawks are just a better team. They before facing the Lions, I believe they were 3-0, and
Yeah,
now
but-
they're 3-2, I believe. 3-3.
3-3.
And the thing is, their defense is just so good, and I just think their defense is
I
better
agree.
than the Falcons' defense.
Yeah,
and I
I'm
think
just
the
looking at their
Seahawks win.
schedule right now. They beat the Broncos, the Patriots, and the Dolphins.
Ugh.
It's not
Yeah.
But
impressive.
also, I just think they're the better
I
team.
just said.
Texans
Like Ben said,
Packers
yeah.
is the next game. I'm going Texans.
This could be the game of the week, I think.
I think this will.
This
The
is-
This-
Packers just
it's
came
either
off
this or
of a
Minnesota,
steam-
Detroit.
The Packers just came off of a steamroller, and I don't think you're going to be able to do that against the Texans. I think they're going to cool off a little. Give me the Texans.
I really truly think that the Packers could win this game, and I wanted to pick them, but I can't pick against the Texans right now, man. I mean, Joe Mixon, when he's been healthy this year, he's been.
When Nico Collins has been healthy this year.
I mean, he's out.
He's out for at least 4 weeks, though.
Yeah,
I
so-
know.
But Tank Dell.
All right, Tank
right
Dell.
in-
Yeah, Tank Dell.
He
He had a great game last
John Mechie the third.
Ooh,
Yeah, I'm going Texans.
nice.
Gabe.
Jake, you go first.
Uh,
I need a second here.
Jake's
just
going to pick Texans.
for the exact same reason for Ben, I mean, I think the Texans are going to win. They're the better team, and when they have Joe Mixon, they're an even better team. A couple weeks ago, they didn't have Joe Mixon; they were struggling. They were still winning, but when Joe Mixon's on that team, they're one of the best teams in the league. I'm going Texans.
Is this in Green Bay?
Gabe.
Yes, I believe so.
You know what? I'm going on an island here, right? I think all three of you took Houston. I think this is, as Jake would say, this is a valuable island pick right here. I think it's 50-50. I think this definitely goes either way. I like Green Bay in Green Bay.
Lambeau.
All right.
Both good
That's fair.
teams.
That's fair. Next game, we got Bengals, Browns. I'm taking the Bengals. I'm not going to hesitate it.
I can't believe this isn't going to be consensus. I'm going Bengals.
Why isn't it, Ben? Ben, why isn't it?
What? I just don't get. I just don't get. I'm going Bengals.
I guess.
What's
I'm
Jake
going
doing
Bengals
here?
too.
Go ahead, Gabe.
I'm going
Gabe, go ahead.
Bengals.
Jake,
Guys.
there's no way, Jake.
This seems to be a consensus, but unfortunately, my upset of the week. I feel like it's a very Bengal thing to do to face the Browns and lose. Now, here's
Jake,
my
this is a
reasoning.
division game.
Yeah, I know, and here's my reasoning. First of all, every team in that division last year finished over 500, which is crazy.
It's not going to happen this year. Not
It
with
won't
Deshaun
happen this year
Watson.
because the Browns are going to have a top 5 pick, but their defense is still very, very good. And
Is it?
the Bengals' offensive line is very, very bad. I think Myles Garrett has 3 sacks this game. Joe Burrow is probably going to get injured, and they're going to lose.
Okay.
Myles Garrett
So-
could definitely do that on.
Yeah. He
a
could do that-
A
He
good
can do that against
O-line.
Lane Johnson or Andrew Thomas, but he's going to do that against a terrible line and get 3 sacks.
All
I
right,
can totally see it, but I think the Bengals.
we
are
gotta
against the
we
wall.
gotta move because of time. Giants Eagles. This is gonna be a split.
I
I'm
like
going.
this
I'm going
one.
with the Eagles. If anything, Saquon's gonna go off this
So,
game.
I'm going Eagles. I just don't really trust that Giants offense to move it down the field, even though our
Do I have to
defense.
convince you again, Ben? Ben, do I have to convince, or not Ben, Gabe, do I have to convince you again?
Go first, Jake.
Okay. Did you guys
Convince
see
him
what,
as much as you want. It's already late, buddy.
did you guys see what Saquon put on socials?
Yes.
Which, first of all, he was almost my player of the week because of that, but you guys chose the Phillies to beat the dead horse. For context, Saquon said that the Giants fans won't boo him because this game's in MetLife because he thinks that chapter is closed. Buddy, this is your first ever game not in a Giants uniform in MetLife. You're getting booed so much. I mean, I'm booing him. I bet Gabe is booing him.
You're gonna be
from
at the game.
Your screen. No, I'm gonna be in my room watching this game. I'm gonna be booing as loud as I ever booed because this guy sucks. Give me the Giants. This is the best chance they've ever had, and Andrew Thomas is out. I don't care. Give me the damn Giants.
Bryce Huff.
All right.
Gabe.
Listen, I usually use the emotional hedge strategy. I pick against the Giants. I pick for the Eagles.
Wait, Gabe. Do you want another eagle next to your face? I could fly
If
more.
you think, Jake, for
I can
1
find
second
Jake,
that I'm gonna
Jake.
pick the Eagles to beat my New York Giants, you are incredibly mistaken. Listen, I think this does come down to, does Malik Neighbors play? In all seriousness, he practiced today, I believe. It was his first time back in practice.
The only two players that didn't practice was
Jake,
Thibodeau
I'm gonna
and,
say one thing. I'm gonna say one
He's
thing.
trending in the right direction.
All right, so we know Gabe's picking the Giants. Ben, you're picking the Eagles. I'm gonna say one thing. And this can go both ways. I think Ben will agree with me on this. If you guys lose this game on your predictions, I want Saquon's face next to both yours. Now, if we lose, you get to put Tiki Barber against ours.
Tiki Barber, or can we come up with a better one?
No,
Yeah,
I said
you can
Tiki
come up with a
Barber
better
because
one.
of
I
the
think we can
sole
do a better
factor
one,
of
Jake.
him and
Yeah.
Saquon fighting
True.
each other.
I'll do Tiki Barber for one of you guys, and we'll do a funny one. Then I'll probably do Dexter Lawrence, honestly. But
No, you know what? To make it fun, to make it more fun that way, I want Saquon's face next to Jake's, and I want Daniel Jones falling next to Gabe.
here, I'll do you one even better, Chris. If the Eagles win, I will take my face off of the graphic and put Saquon's face.
Perfect. I love it. Perfect.
But if they win, Chris, Daniel Jones is replacing you.
All right.
Daniel Jones is going to replace
All
your
right.
face.
All right. That's fine.
That's
fine.
I can't wait for Malik Neighbors
Next
to put up 200
game-
yards on him.
Next game, we have the Rams Raiders. I'm picking the Rams. The Rams have had a rough start, and I don't think that's going to keep happening.
I think the Rams are getting healthy at the right time. I mean, not necessarily the right time, but they're getting healthier.
Who's coming back? Is Cup coming back?
I think Cup is playing.
He's
this
projected to play,
Mhm.
I think.
Awesome.
He
Yeah,
is projected to
fantasy,
play, and
yeah, so
Puka
he's projected.
should be back
Puka's
Soon,
gonna
right?
be
in the
back.
next week or two.
Yeah, next
He's
week.
not
I
gonna play
think.
this week, but I think the week after. But I do think the Rams are going to win this game against the Raiders team that is just struggling right now. I think honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if the Raiders don't win again the rest of the season. I know that's crazy,
Yeah.
but that offense is gross.
And I think Aiden.
Bust.
I'm sure Aiden O'Connell's starting again, which isn't good.
Oh no.
Give me the
All right,
Rams.
what-
This is
what-
the consensus.
Cool. We got 5 games left to go over. This next one should be a consensus. Commanders, Panthers. Jaden
Commanders.
Daniels.
Yeah, we don't need to talk about that one, Jaden Daniels.
No, it's
All right.
Jaden Daniels.
I think
pissed-
it's
I'm
looking
gonna
for
I'm
Austin
gonna say
Eckler and
this.
Austin
I'm
Eckler
skipping
only.
over the game that is on my sheet to touch the other 3 and then go back to this last one.
You know that
Jets
Commanders-
Steelers is what I have next, which is a tough one for me.
It is.
I think it's a toss up.
Russell Wilson,
Yeah, the fact
Broncos
that
country. Let's
dude,
ride.
why are they starting Russell Wilson? I think that might be the dumbest
I
quarterback.
think it's a
change I've ever
toss up, man.
Because
I
Ben,
still think it's a
sometimes-
toss up.
Ben, sometimes you got to live dangerously, and that's what Mike Tomlin's doing.
You know what? No, I'll take the Jets because of Devontae
I'm
Adams.
picking the Jets too. I don't understand.
Upset. But I think it's gonna be a close game. I think the Steelers
I
are still
honestly-
something to pick with.
I honestly believe
I'm
the
certain-
Jets could play this game without Devontae Adams and without Garrett Wilson, and they'd still win.
Alan Lazard.
Alan Lazard, wide receiver 1, he got 23 fantasy points for me last week on the
that's
bench.
the big words there, Gabe. I did spoil my picks
Alan
earlier.
Lazard's cooked.
Every
He
New York team's
cooked.
winning this week, which might be the
Yep.
first time in a long time. I'm going with the Jets.
I just want to say that
All right.
I have become a Steelers hater now because there's 2 people that I know that are Steelers fans that Gabe also knows, and for some reason this year they just decided they're going to talk the most trash I think I've ever seen out of any fan base. It's incredible.
Listen, Jake and I can probably tell you, I can't speak for Jake 100%, but for me, where I'm from, there's 4 fan bases. Or 5. There's Giants, but I kind of combine Giants and Jets just because, New York area. Then there's Cowboys, Eagles, and for whatever reason, there's a lot of Steelers fans. And they are, when you take away the division rivalry aspect of it, Steelers fans are the most annoying fans on the planet because they have a good team every year, or like a mediocre team that plays well every year, and they have a good record for no reason, and they talk like they're the best team in the league because usually those Steelers fans don't know much about the team.
Gabe, what's
Fun
funny?
fact,
Tell
if
me,
the Steelers didn't have TJ Watt, they wouldn't have
True.
any.
Gabe, tell me if this is the same experience that you've had. There's always
Yeah.
1 or 2 Seahawks fans for some reason too. I
You
don't
know what?
why.
And I think it was because of Legion of Boom, but I'm
I
not
know
exactly
a Seahawks
sure though.
fan. I know a
Yeah.
Seahawks
Yes.
fan because of Legion of Boom.
I don't know.
Next game, shout out to Clayton Keller, you just scored. Next game,
Why were there Seahawks fans?
Ravens, Bucks. I'm gonna take the Ravens here.
I'm taking the Ravens. I love this team. I love the way they play. Yeah.
Gabe, Jake.
I'm taking the Ravens. Hopefully, they do not have a fan
A
knockout.
lot of
That's fucking
consensuses this
Yeah,
week.
it's a consensus. Derrick Henry's going to score 2 touchdowns for my fantasy team. That's all I could ask for.
I think we're getting less risky with our picks because
It's more competitive,
getting
which
close.
is good. It's getting competitive.
Chargers, Cardinals.
I just think that the Chargers are the antithesis of what the Cardinals are, but I think the Chargers are better at what they do. I'm going with the Chargers, which is where they're going to be 4-2. I think that's really weird because I don't think they're that good of a team. They're just.
You know what comes out in October very soon? Call of Duty, and Kyler Murray's having a lot of fun on that game because he just partnered with them. I'm going with the Chargers.
I'm gonna go with the Chargers as well.
Ooh.
Really? I think I might be on an island for the second time here. I'm going to Arizona.
This
All
could be
right.
the week that Gabe could get
Takes the
first
number
place.
one.
I mean, do you guys think that, like, I feel like this is also a 50-50 game. I don't think it's that uneven.
I think it's a 50-50.
I think it's 75-25 Chargers.
Yeah, I just think the Chargers style. They're just going to destroy.
They just have better
I think it's
coaching.
a 50-50 game. I do.
Yeah, I think it's gonna be close. Either way,
I think it'll
it's
be
gonna
close too. I think
Okay.
I think whoever wins by 1 to 3 points.
Chris, let's go back to that matchup that you skipped over, which I believe was the Super Bowl matchup, correct?
Yeah, it is the Super Bowl matchup. And you know the best part about that Super Bowl matchup?
What's that?
It's the unfortunate part of having to watch both teams play each other when you don't like either of them.
Yeah.
That's the best and worst part. It's like you want both teams to just beat each other like to death, but then at the same time you also don't want to watch it. It's like who wants to watch Dre Greenlaw anyways? Like he sucks.
Damn.
Yeah, I called you out. I hope you're watching it too.
It's like Eagles Cowboys for us. We
Big
want to
Dom's
see
better
Trayvon
than
Diggs
you.
like catch a bunch of picks off of Jalen Hurts, but we also want to see him get smoked.
With that being said, I'm going to agree with Jake and his I could read you right now. Plus you said something earlier that I'm gonna hit you with. I don't think that there will be any more undefeated teams. I'm gonna go with the Niners.
I think this could be crazy.
I think the Niners are gonna beat the Chiefs this week. Get revenge, and the Chiefs aren't gonna be undefeated anymore.
Actually,
Chiefs fans are probably hyped for this game, but I think the Niners are gonna win this game.
Yeah, I was the one that said there was going to be no undefeated teams. So yes.
No, but Jake said it too. Jake said it too.
Jake said the Vikings are gonna be beaten. He didn't say anything about this game.
No,
but I
he
will
said
say-
all teams wouldn't be undefeated. You both said it.
By the end of the year, yeah. By the end of the year, there won't be any undefeated teams. Ben, are you hitting at something right now?
I will say, both these teams have looked not as good as last season. I don't know. The Chiefs have some mystical power that they're 5-0 because I just don't think they're that.
The refs have that power.
Well, yeah.
Speaking of the Chiefs, Travis and Taylor Swift stay far away from the Yankee Stadium.
Please,
I want you nowhere
hated
near
that they
my
were there.
city.
Do you know what was funny, by the way, real quick?
I want you nowhere
before
near
Ben
my
gives his
city.
pick? Taylor Swift cheered when Juan Soto hit a homer, and Travis Kelce had to be like, no, we don't support them. We don't support them. So, stay away. I don't want Taylor in the Yankee Stadium. Go away.
Yeah,
I don't want her in New York because then that means she's closer to her hometown. Stay far away.
Chris,
Move across the country for damn sakes. No one likes you.
Chris, I just gotta
Just
say,
live on the private jet, just waste gas fuels all day.
Chris, you told me never to say this again. Bang bang Niner gang.
That's
Gabe, go ahead.
disgusting.
I'm on an island again, I think. Am I not? I mean,
They're
Jake,
gonna
did
go
you-
6-0.
Jake, did you
Oh,
take the
yeah.
Niners?
I didn't vote yet. Go ahead, Gabe.
You got them going
okay.
6-0.
Potentially on an island. I'm going
Wait, you
Kansas
got
City.
them winning with Juju Smith? Yeah, he's gonna have a good game, but like, come on now.
Yeah, you took that back instantly.
No, I didn't take it back.
He caught
I
himself.
said it just to say because it's Juju Smith. But yeah,
Okay,
I was that guy after I seen a TikTok earlier
who's your pick?
where I seen a TikTok earlier of a dude walking through a doorway and it said, "Yeah, I'm that guy who took Juju Smith off the waiver wire after week 5." That is me in my main league.
I mean, here's the thing: it's like both teams are good. Kansas City does not seem like a 5-0 team, but
You could see
I
them
mean,
as a
maybe
6-0
4,
team,
if not
though.
5 of the weeks that we've talked about, where we've discussed prior NFL, games, we've always come away with the same thing. The Kansas City Chiefs won again. Refs bailed them out. why it wouldn't happen again. I mean, even if they don't need the refs this time, they just win. Like this team doesn't. I mean, at this point, we're all bored of Patrick Mahomes. I feel like, but he wins a
I
lot.
agree.
You know, you can't take it from
I'm
him.
bored of him. All right,
So
Jake,
Gabe,
end us off.
Chris, you said you read my eyes, and you thought I said something earlier in this recording where I said there will be no more undefeated teams. Which, yes, that is true. But there's still going to be an undefeated team this week. It's going to be the Kansas City Chiefs because if the Niners can't beat the Chiefs with CMC, what makes you think they beat them without CMC? And they don't look like the same team without CMC.
Don't they have Jordan Mason?
Jordan Mason has been trashed the past 2 weeks. Patrick Mahomes will find a way to beat the Niners every single time. Give me Patrick Mahomes against the Niners. This might be the game of the week, but I think it's going to be very underwhelming. I think the Chiefs completely blow them out. But can they? Is their offense good enough? Give me the Chiefs beating the Niners. They will still be undefeated until next week.
It's going to be a very low-scoring game, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
Before I wind up closing us out, I'm going to share 2 quick things. Obviously, the guys know over the weekend I had a blast to meet the guy who's literally just going to beat up on the Giants this week, if you know what I'm talking about. Me and Mr. Saquon. So shout out to him and my signature that I have in my room now for him. I can grab it if you'd like to see it.
That's awesome.
You know what? I'll grab it just because you said it.
Seeing while Chris is grabbing that, seeing that announcement that Saquon had joined the Eagles, it just felt like the Kevin Durant, my next chapter, when he updated his profile picture.
And that was free, right? Wasn't that free?
It was.
That's awesome.
And
what a great guy! What a great guy!
What a fantastic human being. Surely he would never join his division rivals because he's not.
And surely he would never say to his daughter to ask if he would win now, just so he wouldn't say it to his fans, right?
They made the playoffs.
Oh my goodness, bro!
Yeah,
I mean,
they got cooked, but
I hate that guy. I mean, also he was the reason he sucked last week. The amount of times you guys had third down conversions and he didn't get them, and you had to rely on the tush push is crazy.
I'm gonna say this as the last thing before I close this out. I couldn't find it, but I actually printed out a picture of another athlete that I'm gonna meet on Friday.
Whoa!
And it's gonna be a big deal because I'm gonna ask him, since he is a baseball player, I'm gonna be asking him about the Dodgers, since he played for the Dodgers. He is a former player.
Yeah, no way he's meeting current.
What was his team? What was his teams?
He's only played for 2 teams, I think.
Dodgers and
he played for the Dodgers and the Padres. He is a 10-time All-Star, an MVP. He won the World Series in 1981. He is a 4-time Gold Glove. He won the Clemente Award. He was a 2-time NLCS MVP and a 2-time All-Star MVP.
Oh my goodness!
To give you some stats, by the way, he has 270. He has 272 home runs on top of 2,599 hits and a batting average of 294.
Wait, how many hits?
2,599.
Oh, okay.
It's an outfielder. I want to say it's an outfielder, right?
It is not. It is not an outfielder.
So an infielder that played. I want to say it sounds like a shortstop or a second baseman. Third baseman.
Third baseman and
/ first baseman.
Yes.
Interesting. I don't.
His last year was 1987.
Yeah, I'm not really familiar.
He played
with
in
80s.
69 to 1987.
Oh, he's old.
He is older.
Wow. Ooh. Okay. My brain's not working because I'm tired. Third baseman / first.
All right. I'll lay it on you.
Gary Sanchez.
It is not. What? No. Ben, do you know who it is, Ben?
No, I have no idea.
Okay, so it's actually an event that's going to be at Temple that I have a ticket for on Friday. Yes.
Oh, the women in sports media.
Yes, my teacher
Ada Cohn's going to be there
hosting. Really?
Yeah, I want to meet him, but
my teacher's hosting that event and stuff. And one of the big reasons why I was planning on going anyways is to
Doris
see
Burke.
Steve Garvey
Oh.
in the flesh.
Whoa.
If
Honestly, I would rather meet Doris Burke. Doris Burke is
I have a picture. I'm gonna get him to sign it and stuff, and I want to hear his take on the Dodgers. But not
Awesome. I
only
would
that, I
love to
want
meet
to
Doris
network
Burke.
a little. Get to learn more about that stuff. Plus, if you haven't had her, take Claire Smith. She's a phenomenal teacher.
Oh my God, she's amazing. She also knows Reggie Jackson. That's crazy.
She does. She
What?
does.
That's crazy. That's crazy.
Yes, she does. She was Gabe, to give some clarification, she is one of the first women sports writers in history.
Yeah.
She's
And-
friends with a girl who changed the MLB locker
And
rooms.
specifically, she
for
was
good.
the first ever African American sports writer in
That
sports
is true.
history.
She also did know Jackie Robinson.
Yes, she talked to Jackie
She's
Robinson.
a diehard
and
Jackie Robinson
She
fan.
specifically covered the New York Yankees, which is why I love her even more. And now she's on the board.
She was
of
more on the
trustees.
Dodgers. She was more on
Dodgers
the Dodgers.
and Yankees. It was two Dodgers.
The
she
girl
was-
Melissa
started with the
was
Dodgers.
more on the Yankees.
Yeah, and then Claire Smith, she helped with the Yankees a little bit. That's why she knows Reggie Jackson. And she's also now on the board of trustees for the Hall of Fame, which is just amazing.
She also worked in the NBA for a year too.
Claire Smith, honestly, is one of the greatest people I've ever met, and I'm glad that she was my professor.
That's crazy.
Yeah, shout out Claire Smith.
I took her class too. Great class.
Yeah, she's
It
awesome.
is a great class. To end this off though, we're all tired, we need to go and get some sleep and figure out how these predictions look going into the weekend. So stay hyped, stay hungry, keep the frenzy alive. We'll see you on the next one.